Oh, I think we're live. I think we're okay. I think restarting did the trick. We're live. Hi, everybody.
Are we? Well, but hang on.
Hold on.
Let's
Actually, no, my OBS is actually saying a thing that it normally says after it goes live. It's showing live.
Yep. Okay, yeah, it's loading on my end.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that, everybody.
Good.
I'm sorry about being late. I literally clicked the button to start streaming. I started saying my usual spiel, and then I looked at OBS and it said it was still connecting, and then it timed me out. Restarted OBS, still didn't work. I restarted my laptop. Now it looks like we're okay. Let me tweet out real quickly that we're actually live now. I'm sorry about that, everybody. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
It's not your fault.
That's yeah, I can do that real quick. Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah,
it's not your fault. As the chat has established previously, I guess everyone must point fingers at the goose.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, sorry about that. My mom just came in to tell me that my brother and sister-in-law, they are on the way to the hospital. I probably within the next 24 hours, I am going to be an aunt.
Oh, crap.
Oh.
What timing?
Yeah.
What?
Working, then? Huh.
It's
my God.
yeah, this is going down. They're gonna be heading over there in a little bit. So I mean, this is either later tonight or tomorrow. It's yep, I'm gonna have a little nephew.
So,
okay.
Annie's considered the mom of the group, and now she's going to be an aunt.
My God.
So that's where it's good thing I got my phone with me, just in case, because he's gonna let us know.
All right then. Ooh.
Not exactly what I was expecting, but that was quite the surprise nonetheless.
Not quite what I'm sure what the chat was expecting as the first thing to hear when they start the stream starts.
All right. Yeah. No problem.
Finally, a hospital story that is pretty much ending on a good note.
And you see, that was actually the teaser for the next moveset, Aunt Danny for Smash.
Oh, God.
Yeah, just to give you guys a quick thing before this whole thing starts, it's hospital rules, because with everything that's been going down, the hospitals are being so strict about everything. So pretty much, it's only my sister-in-law and my brother are the only people that are even allowed to be in the hospital. Yeah. So they don't even want us in the waiting rooms or anything. So I mean, that's why it's we got no choice. It's it sucks that we can't be there for support, but that's what we have to deal with.
Yeah.
Right.
All right then.
Okay. Anyway, movesets.
Let's get started proper. So, as I was supposed to say before OBS decided to be a jerk. Hi everybody. It is BrawlFan1. Thank you for showing up. Welcome to the What If We Address the Mistakes and Issues video where we talk about general issues you may have with my movesets, whether there's things you don't understand that you'd like me to address, like actual factual mistakes I may have made, or just editing mistakes, things like that, things that I had no excuse for making because I'm a big dumb idiot. Let's start that proper. Also, yes, there was a mini Nintendo Direct today. We'll talk about that later. Oh, Maniac, thank you for once again rejoining the party. Choose your class.
Okay, I said my introduction. Now let me breathe.
I'm too quiet. Hold on. Let me fix that. Let me fix that. Okay.
It's okay.
Alrighty. Okay, so before we get immediately started, how's everyone doing tonight? Also, let me once again put my music on shuffle. How's everyone doing tonight? Is everyone doing good? Everyone staying safe? Everyone enjoying Animal Crossing?
I know I've been just enjoying Animal Crossing.
Yeah. Everyone's good?
Hopefully I will start enjoying Animal Crossing later this weekend.
Yep.
Fingers crossed.
Alrighty, so, in any which case, let's go ahead and get started then since I'm late. We should have started this at 5. I was forced to start late. I hate that. I hate OBS. I need to either reinstall it or get something new. I don't know. I just have OBS.
Streamlabs.
I just have OBS because it's free. Anyway, okay, so let's get things started. So with the Pokemon trainer Sinnoh, I don't immediately remember any initial mistakes that I had with this character, editing-wise or factually. So did anyone have any issues with the movesets themselves or any questions about it that you didn't understand.
Shedinja was clearly the obvious choice.
Why can't Infernape crawl? I just didn't let him crawl, that's all.
Give
Yeah.
Groddle a proper recovery.
He does. He can recover just fine. He has synthesis.
Yeah, he has
Okay,
recovery. It's called switching to Infernape.
Yeah.
Gunnar asks how much damage does Groddle's pummel do? Because depending on the amount, it might be kind of broken.
I guess that's a thing that would probably need to get like tested, which unfortunately I don't have that option. But that is a part of the point because Groddle doesn't really have a proper up special. He can only recover horizontally, not vertically. He needs to rely on healing a little bit more. And as a result, and plus, yeah, there is just the fact that you can change in the air and you switch to Infernape and recover that way. But the whole idea of Groddle is to be able to keep yourself healthy and stay rooted on the ground. Again, he's a Groddle. He is literally a dirt turtle. He's supposed to stay on the dirt. How are the Pokemon balanced? Groddle is the heaviest and the hardest hitter. Piplup has the best combo potential. Infernape is the fastest. Is the fastest and has a bit more acrobatic.
Okay. Someone asked, what will happen when Infernape uses up special when he's on clouds?
What do you mean? On clouds? What are you talking about?
That's just what he asked. What will happen when Infernape uses up special when he's on clouds?
I guess he's referring to some stages, like I guess maybe Yoshi's Island.
Like the Kid Icarus stage?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, the up special itself, like the actual ability to climb the walls, only works when there's actually a wall there to climb. If the stage in question isn't a solid object, he can't climb that. And if it's a flat plane, he can't climb that either. It needs to be a solid wall.
Okay. Does Infernape do fire damage on all of his attacks?
Not all of them. Only the attacks that actually involve, like, what I mentioned as fire. It's like, his side special I know, or his side smash I know is a fire attack. His neutral special is fire. What did I make his side special again? Frick. I know I made his up special. I made his up special rock climb, his neutral special fire spin. It was faint. That's right. It was faint. So, why is the second Pokemon more heavy than the final? Because canonically, Groddle is heavier than Infernape. Like, look up the weights. Groddle is actually heavier than Infernape.
Somebody asked, not related to the moveset, but part of the video. Was that Giratina jump scare intentional?
Not real. Well, I guess not really mine, because that was actually a part of the game. Like, that's actually what happened in Pokemon Platinum. Like, when you encounter Giratina on the Mount, on what was it, Mount Cornet, I think it was called. Like, that's actually what happens in the game. So I was just re-showing the footage there. Can I cuddle the Piplup? Of course you can cuddle the Piplup. I don't think Piplup would like it very much, but, you know. Cornet, yes, thank you.
Piplup is just a spoiled brat. You take your affection, young man.
How can Sinnoh Pokemon Trainer use Final Smash when Giratina is still in the Pokeball? He just summons Giratina. That's all.
Yep.
It's no different than how currently in Smash, when Pokemon Trainer Cancel uses their Final Smash, they just release the two Pokemon that aren't currently out.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Let's see.
Is Piplup's hype similar to Pikachu?
Sorry?
Co-pilot asks, is Piplup's hype similar to Pikachu's?
Piplup's what? Piplup's height?
Height.
Yeah, it'd be about what Pikachu is. Really, the best way to describe Piplup in terms of gameplay is similar to what Pikachu and Squirtle do. Like, it's not as fast as the two of them, but its combo potential is about as on point. If I can change one move on the moveset, what would it be? What would I change and why? Nothing right now. I can't immediately think of anything. How long does it take to switch to Pokemon based on Groddle not having a recovery? It's immediate. It's as fast as it is changing currently for Pokemon Trainer, Kanto, and Smash. Like literally, it's a literal immediate change. Not to mention, when they switch, they stall in the air. Grottle is pretty much useless. No, Grottle's great if you're at high damage percents, because if you're at high damage percents, it's harder to kill, and you can start healing.
Jeremy Oliver asked, will Rapid Spin do more damage now since the buff?
Rapid Spin? What did I give Rapid Spin? I don't think I'd give Rapid Spin to anything. Who do I think the arm struck will be? We'll talk about that after we go over the characters. Like, we'll talk about all the Nintendo Direct stuff at the end.
Okay. Red Toad asks, if there's a Giratina already out from a Pokeball, will Lucas/Dawn's Giratina be shiny to differentiate the two?
No, because there's more than one Giratina. Like, there's no reason to do that. And if anything, they can do the same thing with that Pokemon. Like, if that even is a problem, I don't see why it would be, because there's more than one Giratina. But if that were to be a problem, they could just make it so that the Giratina cannot show up in Pokeballs when Sinnoh Trainer is being used. But even aside from that, again, that's assuming that Giratina even is a Pokeball character in a theoretical Smash game that Dawn's a part of. Because again, I make these movesets not with the intention of them getting into Ultimate, but Smash in general. And who's to say that if Sinnoh Trainer were to ever get into a Smash game, that Giratina would be in that Smash game as a Pokeball item?
Okay. And yeah, and a couple people are bringing up the issue with Chrom. You know, Chrom is a fighter, but he's also in Robin's Final Smash.
So then, yeah, really, there's okay. So it's
So
not. A big,
so yeah, so
it's,
you
it's
so
not a big
we
deal
have
anyway.
no excuse.
Yeah,
we have no excuse.
It's
for,
not a big deal.
for,
It's
you
not
know.
a big deal though. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we can have two Giratinas.
Yeah, it's like at least having two Giratinas, you know, is at least believable. Having two Chroms is a little bit.
Mine's better.
Okay, I'm trying to think. Does anybody else have like any like gripes or anything with Pokemon Trainer? Because it just seems like, you know, I guess people are just asking for some more clarifications. But is there anything like any like gripes?
It doesn't
Like
seem
any legitimate issues.
It doesn't seem like it would have the meeting. The final smash should be the opponent getting trapped versus Dawn and Cynthia. Why? What? Would Synthesis have any end lag to it, or would you be able to get away? It would have a little bit of end lag. Not a whole lot, though. So you would be able to get away, but Grottle's also slow. So getting away is not that reliable. So it's great to do, like, if you launch an opponent and then start healing, and then stop healing as soon as you see them getting close. Like, really, the thing with Grottle Synthesis is, like, that'd be a move that you'd be spamming. Like, literally at every opportunity. Like, when you have a move where you can freely start healing yourself, you'll be spamming it. That's just kind of the thing about it.
Gunnar asks, can you parry feint?
Yeah. Yeah, like feint is bad for shields, but you can parry it if you're good enough to do so.
All right. Cassidy says, I think feint should be changed to detect.
I gave detect to Grovyle, but even then it's like I chose to give feint to Infernate mostly because that was a move that was introduced in Gen 4, and it is a move that the Infernate line learns in general, and I wanted something to emphasize the kind of the speedy but also tricky nature of that line.
Okay. Bean Memer asks, can you camp with rock climb?
Can you camp with rock climb? As you mean, like, can you keep going up the wall, going to the ledge, hop down, and then climb up the wall again? Not really, because it'd be no different than trying to camp with a wall cling with characters. Like, sure you can, but you gotta go back to the ledge eventually, and if you don't land on the stage again, your invulnerability that you get after hitting the ledge the first time won't be there anymore. So eventually it'll get predictable.
It's like, yeah, after some time you keep trying to go for the ledge, I'm gonna stand over here and go like, you're nice for explosive flame rage.
Yeah.
Okay. Shockburst says, I personally think that Grottle's up special should be Leaf Storm. If Grottle is on the ground, the storm will shoot upwards. And if in the air, Grottle aims downwards to give itself an okay boost.
That's an idea. Yeah, it's like my whole thing, my personal whole thing with Grottle was that I felt like it was just appropriate for it to be staying on the ground because again, it's a dirt turtle. But no, that's a fair idea too. Nobody has gripes with Piplup's moveset? I guess not. No one's really been complaining about Piplup.
From what it seems like, no one has anything to say about Piplup. People, I guess, maybe just want a couple of clarifications on Infernape. It seems Grottle is the one that's getting like the most gripes.
Which of Piplup's move has the most end lag? I don't remember exactly, but it's probably one of his smash attacks. Because that's just generally the case. Like, more often than not, it's going to be a smash attack with the most end lag. You think Leaf Storm is more iconic for the Snivy line? Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they have the ability that like helps them abuse it.
Yeah, it's like Mudkip. Everyone likes Piplup. Piplup best starter. Actually, it's funny. So, little fun fact. My original setup for the Sinnoh trainer before the polls... Okay, so... Back before I did the Johto trainer. So this was back... This was back when I was first starting the series. Oh, hold on. My computer is lagging. Why is my computer lagging? It's freezing. Why is my computer freezing? Stop. Am I still live? My computer screen is frozen. Oh, swell. Why did my computer just decide to randomly... wait, no, we good? Are we good? It's fixed? Is this on... Sorry about that, I can't have anything good tonight now, can I? My entire laptop screen just froze for a second. Sorry about that, guys. And my chat also stopped moving too. Are people still saying stuff in the chat? Okay, my chat stopped moving. Crap. Yeah, clearly it did. Hold on, let me fix my chat box so I can actually see you guys' comments. I'm sorry that everything... Oh, wait, no, there we go. It's catching up. It's catching up, I think. It looked like it was... My audio. I can't have anything fun tonight now, can I? Hold on. Let me see something here. Do I need to restart OBS again? I may have to real quick. Is it lagging? I see no frames dropped. It might just be my laptop this time around. Hold on, my laptop's a little hot. Hold on. We can turn the fan on. We can try to cool it down in here. Do I still sound like a robot? Alright, looks like the chat's fixed itself. Okay, let me do this then. If I still sound like a robot, let me do this. Change that to the... Okay, how do I sound now? How do I sound now? Like, is it just me that sounds like a robot, or is it everything? Let me do this then. right now? Okay. Is it just the audio right now? Is the stream not lagging anymore? I couldn't hear you. Okay. Now you only hear me? Hold on. And that's bizarre because... Hold on, let me reset Soundflower then, see if that fixes anything. Alright, I'm gonna just reset OBS then at this point. Alright, give me 1 second, guys. Alrighty, let's try things now. Okay, how do we sound? Stream should be back on. Let me leave it back.
Somebody says it's fixed.
It's fixed now?
Okay.
Yep.
So do you sound okay? Do we sound okay?
Okay.
Yeah, we sound good.
Alright, good. So I do need to do one quick thing. So I'm going to do one, this. There we go. Because okay, after this stream, I'm going to uninstall my OBS and then try to find the newest version. Because, like, what I did right there was, there's this weird glitch with my OBS where whenever my alert box plays, it disables my desktop audio. And I got to refix it. So now you should be able to hear everyone just fine. You should be able to hear me just fine. Is everything okay? Is everything look good?
Wow, I mean, I just found out that you subscribe to yourself.
Yeah, and well, the text document's having a seizure.
Well, that again.
Yeah,
That's another OBS thing. Overall, I think after the stream, I'm going to have to get a new version of OBS. But all right, so if we're good, okay, let me go ahead then and actually try to explain the story that I was about to explain to you guys earlier. How did I just subscribe to myself into a Streamlabs thing? Anyway, I was just doing a quick test. All right. Anyway, so as I was trying to say, back before I did the Johto Trainer moveset, I originally did a bunch of polls for the same polls that I currently have on my YouTube community live page. Which again, if you haven't voted for those, best go do those now. If you want to try to make sure that your favorite Pokemon get selected. And originally, back when I did those polls, the original Pokemon for the Sinnoh lineup that I had was going to be Turtwig, Monferno, and Empoleon. Pokemon chair, thank you! Yes, I have destroyed the robot doppelganger of myself. Thank you. That was it was going to be Turtwig, Monferno, and Infernape. But then when I redid the polls on YouTube, when I had a wider audience later on, it widely changed to Piplup, Grotle, and Infernape. So that's what it ended up being. So I guess in that case, yeah. So I guess then there weren't really any other issues with the Sinnoh Trainer aside from just some clarification for Grotle mostly. Like people don't like the idea of a character that doesn't have a good recovery, even though Little Mac's right there.
And the Belmonts.
Yeah. Are we good to go? Why does Grotle revolve around switching to Infernape, and Pokemon Trainer was designed around the fact that you could stick to one if you wanted? Not really. It's not... You could. Like, nothing's stopping you from staying as Grotle the whole time. You just need to keep in mind the fact that you don't have a good recovery. It's no different than playing as Little Mac. It doesn't revolve around that idea. It's just something that's recommended. It's no different than playing Pokemon Trainer in Smash. Like, and it's just something I brought up in the video. Like, Charizard by default has the best recovery among Squirtle and Ivysaur, and most people, most professional players, when they play as Pokemon Trainer, they'll always switch to Charizard when they want to recover. That's generally just what happens. So it's not a matter of it's an option for you to do, but that doesn't mean you have to do it. Like, if you want to play as only Grotle, fine. But you know, I hope you also enjoy playing Little Mac is all. You just need to accept the fact that your recovery isn't that great. That's all. Alrighty, so... Yeah, and Joshua, I brought that up in the video. Ivysaur's recovery is garbage. Like, we got 2 new characters in the DLC between Joker and Byleth who have excellent tether recoveries, and then Ivysaur just got the shaft. So, yeah, whenever I'm playing Pokemon Trainer, if I have to recover as Ivysaur, I don't. I just switch to Charizard. That's always what I do. Alrighty, so it looks like
Alright, yeah, you know, I'd say, you know what, I think we're good on Pokemon, so let's move on to Toad, because apparently a lot of people take issues with your Toad moveset I'm seeing in the chat.
Really? Alright, let's move on to Toad then. So what are the issues with Toad? What
issues
do you have
with Toad? So let's see. Crockett Lawn Chair. I've got gripes with Toad's overall design. All the moves are good individually, but as a whole, it isn't really coherent. I think it needs more concrete themes and sources.
What do you mean that they aren't coherent? Less spores? You're saying you want less spores on a mushroom? Include Wario's Woods moves? I think the only thing he did with Wario's Woods was place bombs. But he's not really known for placing bombs.
Okay. Let me see. Green Star Galaxian says, one thing about Toad, his final smash is dumb. Why would he have to deal double damage on a buried opponent? I'd honestly have Toad's final smash being Wingo or Dragodon.
The Captain Toad stuff, you mean? Those are options, but something I was hoping to emphasize with Toad's movesets were mushrooms, because that's what he is. He's a mushroom. And, like, I gave him, like, you know, his side special is the Golden Mushroom, which is a default, which is his main item in Double Dash, and then Mega Mushrooms. Like, he uses mushrooms. Because that's something that we see a little bit of, and generally in some of the other Mario movesets, but not a whole lot. Like, we never really see the power-ups that emphasized. Like, we see the Fire Flower with Mario, and as well as the Cape. And the interesting thing about the Cape is that the Cape's only ever been used in one. It's only been used in one game. Like, I wanted to try to emphasize more power-ups with Toad, because here's the big thing. And Toad, I brought this up in my last stream, how Toad was a moveset that I spent a long time on. Because for a while, I wasn't happy with it. And it took me a while to finally get a moveset that I was happy with, because the coherency is the fact that he's a mushroom. He does mushroomy things, and he does mushroomy things that are within the realm of what Toad does within the Mario games.
Okay, so Crockett says, the moves don't gel well together. A good amount of the moves are taken from pretty loose connections like the hammers. I think if you focused on the power-ups more, it would be better.
Well, the hammer is
so yeah, well, I think like more emphasis on the various mushroom power-ups. And by the way, I did see some people are asking, how about for recovery, why not use propeller mushroom?
That was actually the original. That was actually the original idea that I was planning to use. But then I saw the bouncy mushroom platform, and thought that jived a little better. Who's texting me? Sorry about that.
Ding. Okay. But
the pickaxe makes
also
the damage a little broken, since you can spam. Not really, because again, it's very rare. Like you are more likely to find a Babam out of Peach's down special than you are the pickaxe. Make the main skin blue? No, because the main Toad is the one with the red mushroom and the blue vest. Like, I know the blue and yellow Toads are the ones that are used in a lot more recent multiplayer stuff, but that's mostly just to make it so that they don't mesh well with Mario's red.
Okay.
I'm using the list.
That's fine.
It should have been Captain Toad. I explained in the video why I felt Captain Toad was why I did make it Captain Toad, because there just isn't enough from Captain Toad, I feel. Like, people have shown me Captain Toad specific movesets. My problem with those is that some of them feel very forced when I looked at them myself.
Let me see. Rockin' Riff says Final Smash should transform into Captain Toad, and then he hits all foes with his pick. Then it becomes a cinematic Final Smash with Road using the double cherry and him running over his foes.
That seems a little forced. Yeah, like I'm seeing a lot of people saying that the pickaxe is too broken. Again, it's very rare to find. And again, when you get it, it plays like a hammer. So its main weakness is that you're slow and you only got one jump. So yeah, you're invincible and it can kill if you get hit by it a few times, but it's easy to run away from if you're playing a speedy character. Slower character may have a problem, sure, but that's just the general case.
Or in the case of someone like Mario, oh hi, you're in the air, flood.
Yeah.
Off the stage you go.
Captain Toad for a down special transformation? No.
What happens when Peach or Daisy counters Toad?
What counters? Oh, like you.
Like you're playing Toad, and they pull out the Toad counter. What happens?
That's just the same thing as the Giratina question from earlier. There's more than one Toad. Like, I mean, when Peach and Daisy are both fighting each other in Smash, like Daisy doesn't get doesn't get something different. She still has Toad. It's just a different Toad.
Okay.
Does Toad have a ground pound? Did I give Toad a ground pound? I don't think I did. I don't think I gave. I don't think I did give Toad a ground pound.
No one is here said Toad needs less Spore Attack, but you can keep the neutral special. But the down tilt, down smash, and up specials feels a bit excessive.
Let me see, the down tilt, down smash, and up specials for the Spore stuff.
Yeah, I guess he felt maybe you relied a little too much on the spores.
Again, that doesn't make much sense to me. Relying too much on a thing that mushrooms are known for. Sorry. Like, the whole idea, it's not even just the spore stuff. He's creating mushrooms. That's what Toad does. Like, he does that in quite a few games. Like, he's a mushroom person. He creates mushrooms. Oh! Thank you. Here's a Billy and Mandy reference with a twist. Oh, and of course, some of the message was long and it got cut off. Still need to fix that, me. Dang it. Sorry about that. Why isn't Toad's Final Smash like Jigglypuff's? Why would you want it to be like Jigglypuff's? Jigglypuff's Final Smash is terrible.
Listen, I want this character to be bad, alright?
Why do I don't even know your staff, but I love them so much? What? You have to reiterate that one.
I think... Yeah, I love them so.
Yeah, and I remember someone also brought up why the whole double damage thing with the Final Smash was a thing. Again, it's not a cinematic. It's one that can be avoided. Like it's in the case of most Final Smashes, if you get hit by them, you're generally dead anyway. So the idea of Toad's Final Smash is that if you can avoid it, you're fine. But if you do get hit by it, it's double punishment. Toad's down smash and have him spin on his head. I think that was actually an original idea that one of the original ideas that I had, but I ended up not liking it that much. Like it was a kind of an idea where he used like his head as the center of gravity as his legs spin outwards. But I don't know, it didn't jive with me that well. Name one game where Toad grows mushrooms other than Mario Tennis. The Mario sports game. Toadette uses mushrooms in, again, Mario Tennis. That was the Mario, yeah, the Mario, was it Mario Tennis Aces? Or it was a Mario Tennis game, but regardless. Oh, shoot, I know there was more. My memory's failing me right now. Now this looks bad.
Mr. Maniac says Mario Sports Mix.
Yeah, thank you. And now this looks bad because now it looks like I'm being a big fat liar. Dang it! I hate my memory. I know there was others. I could have sworn there was others. Oh well. I guess I'm a big fat liar. Because my memory's bad. Toad. Why didn't again? Like the propeller mushroom was my original idea, but I don't know. I liked the bouncy mushroom more. I really did, honestly. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad idea for an up. I'm not saying by any means that it's a bad idea for an up special. I just liked the bouncy mushroom more. That's all.
Okay, Shadowfang says, I feel the moves are just ripped from other characters with a different aesthetic.
I mean, to be fair, you can say that about a lot of characters in Smash.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. Like a lot of moves when you compare it to a lot of other characters.
That's like one of the main
They
reasons
are
why,
relatively similar.
that's like one of the main reasons why some people complain about the whole the big too many sword fighters complaint when it comes to Smash, because it is very easy to come across a lot of characters who just swing a sword like the same way another character does.
And it's like, when you're referring to the moves you're talking about, that I'm sure you are, you're referring to the moves that I referenced back strictly to Mario and Peach, which was kind of the point, because generally in the games where Toad is playable, he's playable alongside Mario and, like, as well as Peach if she's there, and they generally can always do the same thing. Like in the games where Toad is playable, like the mainstream games, like there's the new Super Mario Bros. Series where he does all the same exact stuff as Mario, in like 3D lands where he's playable even alongside Peach and Mario as well. They do all the same stuff. So that was kind of what I was going for the most part.
Talented AF says, how about when Toad uses his spores to create mushrooms, they stay there in place and can be eaten, but when they're eaten, they deal poison damage?
I don't think so, because unless it's specifically a poison mushroom, like mushrooms don't poison you, they make you bigger.
Well, I think that's what he's saying, is like, what if some of the mushrooms that Toad would sprout would be poison mushrooms?
Makes you wonder if he even can do that. Curious, actually. I don't know. Can Toad sprout poison mushrooms? I feel like the point of spores are literally like they're sperm for mushrooms, and I feel like if you're gonna sprout some, they're gonna end up being like, if a mushroom sprouts spores to sprout more mushrooms, those mushrooms are gonna be genetically, similar to the mushroom that sprouted the original spores. But I don't know. It's Mario. I have no clue if Toad could actually do that. All I know is, I know for a fact that Toad can sprout more mushrooms by releasing the spores on his head.
All right, I'm back.
Why is my staff? Why is my staff? What do you mean my staff? You mean my friends?
I think he's referring to us. I think he's referring to us.
My friends? Like, because they're just awesome people.
I mean, I don't know where you heard that from.
It's like, hey, right back at ya.
Wait, we work for BJ now?
Apparently.
I mean, I've made how
Am I
many
getting
videos?
paid for this?
I've been in how many
Okay.
videos for this series?
All right, and I am being called down to dinner.
Okay.
That being said, BJ, because you're about to move on to Bendy, I actually have a document from Mr. Maniac about his gripes with Bendy, because he had a lot to say.
Really?
So
boy.
I am going to quickly copy and paste this for you to peruse while I go eat my din-dins.
Okay. And then I saw somebody bring up. Okay. This was actually another thing that I saw with the Toad moveset. Why didn't I give a Toad's Worth moves costume? Because Toad's Worth has a cane, and I'm not evil enough to take an old man's cane away. Would Captain Toad not be wearing? No, he'd wear his backpack. Like, again, I brought this up in the video. Like, it would, for the Captain Toad and Toadette moveset costume specifically, it would just ignore the fact that they can't jump at all and would still be able to jump. But the whole idea with Toad is that just like originally, Toad always has the weakest jump. So... how's quarantine? Quarantine's going just fine. So I guess, were there any other... what if Toad's Final Smash was the the bazooka? It can't be. He forgot it at home. Toadsworth has an Echo, but more cane moves, since... not much of an Echo, then. Can Toadette be her own character? What would she do? Like, she can be an Echo... originally, Toadette actually was going to be an Echo Fighter, actually. I was originally going to have her be an Echo Fighter. But looking back at it, there really wasn't much point. Because there really isn't a whole lot that Toadette does that Toad doesn't also do. Like, the only immediate thing that I can think of was the paper crafting stuff in Paper Jam. But that was one thing. And Paper Jam isn't even that widely regarded of a game, unfortunately. I had fun with it, but I admit it was a little bit weak. So she really doesn't have a whole lot to go for on her own. Like, she'd be just like Toad. So I felt there was no point in making her an Echo. A costume was just fine.
I just like to imagine, like, so Toadsworth, what can you bring to the table as an Echo of Toad? Well, I can use a cane.
Oh yeah, there was Peachette, but I think not, because last thing I wanted was a bunch of Bowsette requests. I get those already, but I don't want to do that because that's a fan thing. And actually, even then, what would that do? Final Smash related, what would that do? Because really, all the Peachette cost a power-up in the game does is give her a bit more mobility. What does it do in terms of a Final Smash? How about Toad appears in the cart? That was my initial thought. But then I remembered I also gave that to Waluigi. And I didn't really want to emphasize the cart. I wanted to emphasize the golden mushroom specifically and what that does. Peach and Daisy's Final Smash. So wait, you want me to make Toadette an Echo Fighter? You wanted me to make Toadette an Echo Fighter and then just give her Peach and Daisy's Final Smash? I love Daisy and Peach in Smash, but their Final Smashes are bad. Like, I mean, they're good. In terms of functionality, they're good, but in terms of representing the character, they're bad. They're not that great. I'm sure there could have been plenty of other things that could have been done for Peach and Daisy's Final Smash. So, a hard no on that. Okay, Shift Junior, I've seen you leave that same comment, like, 6 times now. Like, nah. But the bouncy looked like the orange one from 3D World? No, it would just, I think it would just be like it'd be like a generic mushroom platform, like you'd see in generally most other Mario games. Like, I just used the 3D World one because that just happened to be a mushroom that bounced. That I had access to at the time. Why not have Toadette get captured by the bird and Toad Tracker? And the bird will start flapping, making the stage windy? Not really feeling that one. Did my music stop? Dang it, music, why you gotta stop like that? There we go. Okay. Toad could use his cat costume, and how? In what regard? New member, what? I got a new member?
Oh,
Party
yep,
member?
seems like it. Angel Droid.
Hey, welcome to the party. Choose your class. Toad can scratch foes with the A? Like, for the Toad moveset, I wanted to prioritize like, the mushroom stuff, mostly. Like, aside from the turn-ups, which I felt would be wrong to take away from him, his moveset mostly does revolve around turn-ups or him being the ref. Because that generally is Toad's role, is being a referee in some way. I know he's had more playable appearances as of late, but... Oh, I mean, up until Super Mario Party, which turned him back into a ref, but regardless.
Oh, I thought that name looked familiar.
What?
Oh, Angel Droid for being a new member. I thought that name looked familiar. I guess I should go ahead and say thank you for following me on Twitch as well a few days ago.
For his grabs, he takes the mushroom from his skull? What? Or Toad can just use the Mega Mushroom and run into everybody. Untalented AF, thank you! How about when Toad wall climbs, he turns into his cat form? Well, there is no wall climb. Like, there's the wall cling. And again, I don't know. That seemed a little niche just to have for one detail. Like, for him to only turn into the cat form just for a wall cling, and that's it. Like, that seemed a little niche to me. And then Toad can have the Mega Mushroom and become bigger and step on players and break stuff. So, you mean what I actually gave him? Because that's the final smash that I gave him. Using the Mega Mushroom to turn big and jump around to stomp the arena. Like, it's not fully controllable. He jumps automatically, but you can control where he jumps to. Final Smash, he removes the mushroom and traumatizes his enemies in line of sight. Well, actually, it's interesting, because I know a lot of people in the comments brought up the fact that the mushroom head is a hat. It's actually been confirmed that it's not. Yeah, because in the Mario cartoon, the English-made one, it is a hat there. But canonically, it's not a hat. It's actually a part of his head.
I mean, he is a mushroom.
Yeah.
Okay, but before I potentially make myself sound like an idiot, wall climbing is not a thing in Smash, right?
No.
Then yeah, Ben Jones, that's why wall climbing is not a thing for Toad, because wall climbing doesn't
closest you're
exist.
ever gonna get to that is wall clinging, and you're not even climbing; you're just sticking to the wall.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, so when you ask why can Toad wall cling but not wall climb, because wall climbing doesn't exist in Smash.
And someone asked, or they suggested that Toad should have a similar gimmick to King K. Rool, except with his head. I get what you mean, but I don't know, because I feel with King K. Rool that belly armor is not a part of his body; it's actually armor, whereas the head is actually a part of him. So I feel like if that gets cracked, that's a problem.
Dead Toad.
BJ, please use back side B in your movesets more. Only if it calls for it. Like what Terry has, only if it calls for it. We'll talk about SpongeBob when we get to him. See, Toad's Final Smash should be like Yoshi's, where it's a stampede of colorful toads. That's not a bad idea to reference more toads. No, that's not a bad idea at all.
Attack my brethren!
because that would emphasize the fact, because that would emphasize more of what I was trying to go for some of his throws. So, no, but that's not a bad idea at all. Why aren't shrubs referenced? Just weren't. Like, there were more than enough colors for Toad to cover everything. I just want, in terms of the Toad colors for his alts, I just used what I felt was the most iconic. Maybe he can have a gimmick where he will bounce off his head. He just runs away from enemies. I mean, logically, that's probably what he would do.
So I
Side
just got the
special
phone
Mario
from
Kart.
Nintendo.
That's kind of what I gave him. It's like it's not. He doesn't get into a cart, but he uses the golden mushroom, which is Mario Kart exclusive. All right, I guess in that case, did we have any other problems with Toad that I didn't already address? What is Bup? I keep seeing people reference that. What is Bup? What is this meme that I have never heard of?
Unfortunately, I could not tell you.
Don't make his head the gold shrimp? Really? You didn't like that? Because it's actually interesting. That was actually something that I went over with my buddies here. Like, I brought up the idea. When he uses the golden mushroom for a side special, should he just be holding the shroom, or should his head turn into the golden mushroom with the crown? Like, to reference it. And it ended up kind of unanimously being the golden mushroom as his head. So
Okay, I'm back.
I guess we all just suck.
Hey,
at
welcome
things,
back.
guys.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
All right.
I'm playing.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, I am back and stuffed with fettuccine.
Hey.
Oh, God, that sounds so good right now. It's like, shoot.
Alrighty. So where are we at?
We're still on Toad, but I think we're about to move on pretty soon, because pretty much right now it just seems like most people are just like suggesting other Final Smashes. No one liked the Mega Mushroom? I thought that was perfect for Toad. Because I mean, when I think of one of the most powerful power-ups in Mario, I think of the Mega Mushroom. Like, aside from the star, I think of the Mega Mushroom.
It's definitely one of the more powerful ones.
And honestly, I kind of wish that was Mario's Final Smash. It makes a lot more... I feel like, especially in modern games, I feel like that makes a lot more sense for him, as opposed to this random giant fire tornado that only existed in Smash. And again, if you don't like the Mega Mushroom, that's fine. Like, that's alright. I do not mind that at all. I was like, I like the Mega Mushroom, though. Alrighty, so then... Alright. I don't see much anything different for Toad. Let's go ahead and move on to Bendy. So I guess since you're back, Danny...
Okay. Yes, I'll go on ahead and read off what he said, and if you check on your message I sent to you over Discord, he did provide a picture. Okay, so reading from the document that Mr. Maniac sent, which, by the way, just FYI, BJ, he sent me this like literally the day after the moveset was posted. So I've been holding on to this for a long time.
Wow.
Yeah, just for you. So, here's what he said. So, there are a few things I wanted to note about the Bendy moveset. For starters, regarding the throws, there were a few references you messed up a little. The back throw where he turns into the swing and spin carnival ride, You mentioned that it was a boss, which is true. You just forgot the name. The name is Bertram Piedmont. He personally worked on Bendy Land back when Joey Drew Studios was still in business.
Oh, I knew that. I just didn't feel much of the need to mention it. So that's my bad. Sorry. I just didn't. I wanted to keep the flow going. I just didn't bother mentioning it. I just said it's a boss. Here it is. I didn't bother mentioning it though.
Okay. The down throw with the crate. You're not wrong when saying it's from a puzzle where Henry crushes a searcher, but it's technically / supposedly not just a searcher. In-game, this searcher is referred to as Swollen Jack, and it's implied that it's Jack Fane, a lyricist for the songs in the Bendy cartoons, and loves it when everything remains silent. He also seems to admire Sammy's songs, saying that they always got some bounce.
Oh, so you had no problem with the actual down throw. It was literally just... I called the thing that you crushed a searcher when it really wasn't one. Okay, okay, that's my bad then.
Okay, the biggest problem that he had with the moveset is the alts. How do I say it without being rude? They suck. I'm sorry, dude, but they honestly are some of the worst looking alts of the series if you ask me. I get there's not a lot of reference with the character that's just black and yellow, but I think they did a pretty decent job way before you even leaked the Bendy moveset. First, to improve some of the alts like the blue one, make the yellow one you left on him a different color, even a lighter shade of the main color or a contrasting color to it. As for replacement alts, here's what he suggested. And this is...
Steve, thank you. Toad's pickaxe makes you spawn more for how weak it is. What? No, it shouldn't spawn more. It's invincible and it works like it's an invincible hammer. It shouldn't spawn more than it does. Anyway, I'm sorry. Continue.
Okay, so this is where the picture that I sent you, because these were some of his ideas about alternative Bendy alts.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
So, okay, so the alt with the red body and head, white face, black arms and legs. This is a reference to the Meatly, the creator of the series. The blue body and head with some floral pattern, green bow, peach face, and gloves in reference to Joey Drew at the end of the game. Brown / black body and legs, purple head and arms, orange accents, and a wood-looking face and gloves in reference to Bandit / Showdown Bandit from Showdown Bandit, another game made by the same developers.
Oh, is that the Showdown Bandit? I'm getting requests for that guy.
Yeah, Showdown Bandit is there. That's a game that the Meatly's working on along with Bendy.
That's a weird character. Okay.
So it's just reference another game that the Meatly's done. This one I personally scrapped. It's basically the first alt, but with some scratches all over him and weird creepy eyes. This is in reference to the Wandering is a Terrible Sin Bendy cutouts. They can only be found in the game by hacking to get Henry into locations that are unreachable. Okay, and lastly, basically alt 1, but with a little bit of ink dripping on his face and given some clothes, particularly a shirt and pants. This appearance was leaked thanks to official merch for Bendy and the Dark Revival, seeming like it will be Bendy's appearance in the game.
When was that leak? Because this is the first time I'm seeing that.
Well,
Yes,
that's right. Well, again, this is the apparently there's some like merch, like a plush doll or something that got leaked out somewhere, and people are speculating this is from the Bendy sequel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So maybe reference the Bendy sequel with that alt. It's just that pretty much seems to be like the bulk of what Mitch Maniac said was like just a couple of clarifications and then the alts rather than just doing the the colors that you suggested. He actually brought up a couple of more actual Bendy references.
Right. Well, the reason why I made the alts like the red alt, the Joey Drew alt, and kind of the Showdown Bandit alts, I think are fine. Mostly because they help emphasize something that needs to be pointed out for the moveset. Because Bendy uses ink in the same manner as the Inkling, he needs the ink that he shoots needs to match the color of his body, and if it's all black ink, that'll cause problems. It's why the Inklings all have different colors for theirs, so you can differentiate who was inked by what exactly, who was inked by who. So that's what I was going, and especially with Bendy, who unlike Inklings, his ink attacks are can be a bit more derivative of of why it's important of who's inking who on that one. Like that's why I needed to make sure that his colors made it so that he shot different ink colors. But yeah, like the Joey Drew, the Meatly, and yeah, like the Showdown Bandit has a little too much black on it, but to an extent, like those would be fine for the movesets. But yeah, for one thing, I can see why you scrapped the Wandering Sun, because at a glance and in fast motion, it'd be hard to tell that apart from the normal default. The leaked outfit's I'm a little iffy on, if only because he's wearing he has the brown suit, yeah, but his body's still black. I don't know. I guess you could make his ink brown for that one, but I don't know.
Okay, and he also just sent me another thing, so I just sent you an image. Apparently, there's another game.
Yeah, those are
Bendy Nightmare Run.
Yeah, those are all customs in the Bendy Nightmare Run. I saw those, but that goes back to the same problem that I just brought up. Now, those are maybe costumes, but they're all black and white costumes, and the ink needs to be different colors. So that's why I chose not to use them, because they need to be different colors, and those are all black and white. If they were different colored costumes, then I would have gone for that immediately. But because they're all black and white, I had to opt against it, because again, the ink needs to be different.
Okay.
Well,
Okay. But yeah, that's what I got from Mr. Maniac. So now, so now let's see what the chat has to say.
Yeah,
I'm seeing a couple people are saying Bendy should take damage in water like with Inkling, since he is made of ink.
Sure, that's no problem. You know, I do need to be better about that. That isn't my bad part. Usually when a character should obviously be hydrophobic, I never really bring up that they are. So here, I'll put that down. I need to bring up more when a character is hydrophobic. Bendy would be, and actually on that note, Infernape is hydrophobic, because fire type. All right, so yeah, that is something that I do need to be better about, because well, I guess I keep forgetting to bring it up because I hardly ever play on stages that have water on them. Hydrophobic, aquaphobic. Is it the same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Regardless, yeah. So it's still my bad, because I make these movesets with the idea that they're not just for one-on-one fights. They're for to be used in Smash in general, for multiplayer, with items in the different modes, with all of that. That's what I strive for when making these movesets. I'm not trying to make them strictly one-on-one competitive. They're for Smash as a whole. But as such, that is why did I write phobic? Thank you. As such, that's just a my bad on it. I do need to bring that up more. So.
Okay. And I'm seeing a couple of people that are requesting Boris or Alice as Echoes.
No, because they have drastically different body types. Because remember, the Bendy that I used, it's the cartoon Bendy with like the powers of the Ink Machine or Ink Bendy himself. So because of that, he has the body proportions of that cartoon character. And if you look at Boris and Alice, they're very different. So it wouldn't work.
Plus characters like Alice, they deserve their own separate moveset.
Make him crawl. Yeah, I saw a couple of people bring up the idea of when he crouches, he actually just melts and crawls by sliming around the area. That's a neat idea. No, that's a fun idea. Bendy should heal when covered in Inkling ink? No, I really no, because that's a situational. That'd be a situational ability. So no. What if you use down air in the air, or down special in the air? He just slides forwards. Like, he doesn't leave an ink trail. He just goes forwards is all. So it just becomes a tackle in the air. Does Bendy's down air spike? Did I say it did or not? I feel like it probably does. I can't remember if I actually said it didn't or not. Usually if I say that if I don't say that it can spike, that means that it can't spike. So more than likely, if I did not say that it can spike, then I meant for it to not spike.
Okay. Dark Red Knight says the black and white alt should shoot white ink.
It probably does, more than likely. Yeah, I think I made it so that it does. And I know what you're thinking, Brian, but I also have a red, I also have a red alt, so you know.
Oh.
How do Bentley and Inkling interact? Probably not well.
Yeah, more than likely.
Whoopie? What did you call me?
How does
Notch Hill asks, include the ink machine itself.
I tried. I wasn't really sure where. Because that sounds like something that should be a final smash, but I felt like Beast Bendy was more appropriate to be the final smash. Because I already got people in the comments.
You just have it.
I already have people in the comments saying that I forgot about Beast Bendy when I didn't. So, you know, that's just people not watching the whole video again, but regardless. It's like, if I made the Ink Machine his final smash and not Beast Bendy, a lot more people would be complaining. But, again, I should emphasize that I'm not making these movesets with the idea of trying to avoid complaints from people. I'm doing what I personally think would be the most fun out of these movesets, and the most fun and the best representative.
Yep.
And I think
People complaining just comes next.
Yeah. And I think in this case, Beast Bendy was just a better fit anyway. Now, the Ink Machine could be a stage, sure, but
Yeah, like a stage hazard. Yeah.
Yeah, like not a part of his moveset, I don't think. But ND drops an anvil. That's just Spike, right? Oh, wait, that's right. It was the anvil. Oh, that's right. Never mind. Okay, I was confused. I was confusing down airs. For some reason, I remembered Bendy's down air as the down air that I gave to Cuphead. So no, Bendy's down air was the one where he drops the anvil. So no, that wouldn't spike because it's a projectile. That's why I opted not to do that. Can you ask a person a question? Sure. His neutral special should spawn a searcher that stops when it hits the edge. Well, I do that for the down special, but I opted not to because I felt like having more than one searcher on stage at a time would be a little overkill. And that's also the reason why I make it so the searchers can't move from their spot. Like, I know they can move around in their games, but I opted to make the searcher not be able to move from the ink puddle created by the down special because I think that would be a little bit overkill.
Yeah, like that's a lot of stage control that one player has.
Yeah, and Bendy already has a lot of moves that do have great stage control. Like, his neutral special, when laid on the ground, can trap opponents if they step on it. The ink puddles with no searcher, if it's killed, are slippery. He has a teleport, and then he has a long-reaching side special that makes it so that they take more damage. Remember, Bendy's whole theme behind his moveset was trapping your opponent and making them feel a lot of stage pressure, giving them a claustrophobic feeling. So having more than one searcher, that's too much.
Yeah, like Snake already puts us through an obstacle course. You really want another one?
Let's see. Why is the bacon soup so strong?
That references a thing in the game where there's a thing in the game where you can find a can of bacon soup that, when tossed, will just like crit enemies. Like, you saw the clip that I used where guy was throwing a bacon soup at the projectionist, which normally is really only like practically killable with the Tommy gun, and he took it down with the bacon soup. That's why. Like, it's kind of a joke weapon. Like, not all cans of bacon soup can do that, only, like, this very specific one that's hard to find. Which is also why the can that appears in his Ultra Special is also very rare to appear. Like, it's a rare chance. But it's strong when it does. That's what it's referencing. Will characters be covered in black ink? Yeah, they will. They'll be covered in the ink color that corresponding to the color alt that you're using for Bendy. So just like with Inkling.
Why did you use cartoon Bendy and not ink Bendy?
I explained that in the video, where it's like, it was a difficult choice to make. A part of it was I felt like ink Bendy was a tad too limiting. Because when people think of Bendy, they think of the cartoon. They think of what you see on screen right now. Ink Bendy, I'm sure people who play the game probably do think a little bit more of that one, but the problem is, you actually see ink Bendy very little in the game itself. You see the cartoon Bendy, you know, as posters, cardboard cutouts, on logos, all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, even the merchandise that you can pick up at like Hot Topic, it features the cartoon versions of the characters way more than their actual in-game models.
Yeah, so
it's like the cartoon Bendy's a little bit more iconic and recognizable.
Yeah, so I opted to use what more people would recognize as well, but combine it with the powers that we do see from Ink Bendy. Which, again, not much. We see that he's very strong with how easy he took down the Projectionist. We see that he can morph through the walls, which, again, I think implies that the whole studio itself is made of ink, which is how he's able to do that. Which, yeah, implies makeshift teleports. And we see that he's able to morph himself into the Beast. But aside from that, there's not much else we really see him do. So I opted, and again, if I went for Ink Bendy, it would just be a straight horror-themed character, as opposed to what the game's really trying to go for, which is, again, the game isn't scary. It's unsettling. And the idea is that it wants to bring out initial appearances. It wants you to think that it's all friendly and whatever, until you really start delving deeper into the game and realize, haha, no. So that's why
I'm seeing a couple people asking, is Bendy 2D or 3D?
3D. He's 3D. Because, again, he's made of ink. He's made of blobs of ink. So he's not like Game & Watch. He's 3D. Because, again, because we see that the ink machine is, because, again, he is a theoretical idea, for sure. Because we never see, like, the straight cartoon Bendy in the game. We do see the straight cartoon Boris, however. And I bring this up in the video as well. So we know for a fact that the ink machine is capable of some capacity to making proper versions of the characters. So this version of Bendy is just a theoretical idea that the ink machine created a proper looking Bendy.
Alex TFS asks, question, for his all-seeing glass taunt, when he looks at the screen, would he be able to make different faces aside from the ink Bendy face? Like, for example, the Wandering Sin face.
That's not a bad idea. Yeah, that could be fine. Yeah, like, because I just opted, just for the ink Bendy face, just to, hammer in the fact that this is cartoon Bendy, but is also ink Bendy to an extent. But that's not a bad idea. Like, he can show different faces.
Okay. Yeah, make a note of that.
Like, well, I don't think it needs a note. Anyway.
Megaturtle says, Bendy should hide behind a cardboard cutout for his shielding animation. Also, would he be voiced or not?
That's a good question. I don't know. Probably not, because does he have? I don't think he has a voice in the cartoon, the cartoons, does he?
Oh.
And I don't even think Ink Bendy talks, so probably not.
Now, I know not in the games, but I'd have to double check on some of the
Yeah,
extra
I know.
cartoons that the meat really
Atlas-
done. Because I think the
Atlas
whole thing
Angel
they've been
talks, and Boris
Yeah.
has some grunts, but I don't think we've ever actually heard Bendy have a voice. So I
Or
don't.
if he did, maybe he made some like grunt noises. I'd have to double check on that myself. It's been a while since I've seen those Bendy cartoons.
Yeah, and even that, I don't recall if Ink Bendy ever talked. I don't think he ever did.
Right.
So
Now, that being said, I do like Megaturtle's idea about the shielding.
did he hide behind the cardboard cutout?
Yeah, he puts a cardboard cutout and he hides behind it.
Yeah, that's funny.
I like that idea.
It would make cartoon sounds if he gets hit. I can see that. I'd see Cuphead having the same thing too.
Like bing boing bong bong.
Have I ever thought about making my own animations or a fan game mod? Originally, when I was first working on this series, I did plan to animate all the movesets, but obviously that would have taken a long time. And if I ended up doing that, you would not be getting these episodes weekly. That's for certain. As for a fan gamer mod, I do not have those resources. Thank you, TPGU. Say it up. I do not have those resources. I do not know how to make fan games. I'm not a programmer, and I don't know people who can, nor do I have the funds to pay anybody to do so. So no.
Stay tuned for Smash Flash 3.
One thing that kind of sucks, is not being able to reference Dark Revival. Well, the game's not out yet, so we don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
Then how come you don't like my idea for Freddy hiding behind the security door? Well, cardboard cutouts are movable. Security doors are not. Like, you can move
I
the
saw
cardboard-
somebody.
Sorry?
Oh, sorry, you finished.
No, go ahead.
Okay, I saw somebody asking earlier about the final Smash. Would it work like Pac-Man's or Ganondorf's?
More like Pac-Man's. Because you're charging around the screen and appearing in random areas. So it's more like Pac-Man's, I would say.
Okay.
Bendy should have an ink wave effect when he dodges. He probably would, because remember, his body is made of ink, and as I try to emphasize whenever he uses moves, you see like ink droplets appear off of him whenever he swings around. So he's not a solid ink. He's very clearly just like this, like kind of just like this liquid taken form. So whenever he does fast movements, yeah, his body would kind of deform a little bit. So yeah, for sure.
Matt MC asks, would you update Bendy if new stuff from Dark Revival comes out? Much like you would said about Cuphead and his DLC.
I might. Like, I might bring up other ideas. Like, I don't see the whole moveset changing as a whole. Maybe a couple of the attacks, but like, I might bring up some other ideas. Like, at some point in the far future, I may have to make a video where I talk about the newer games for characters that weren't out when I made the movesets, and incorporate stuff that would have been cool to have in the movesets if those games did exist at that point. So.
Okay. Megaturtle also suggests, when Bendy gets KO'd, he bursts into an ink explosion, like how Mega Man blows up.
Oh, man.
It flies everywhere. Oh, what? No.
Yeah.
What's that game that the Game Grumps played for a while? It was like that. What was it called? It was the one where you play as like the grabby guys.
Oh, heave ho.
That's it. It's like, and like whenever they fall off, like they just explode into ink, and the ink's like sprayed all over the place.
Oh no! It's like, ew! I'm covered in his ink.
Okay. Is there potential for Alice Angel or Boris if they get enough requests?
Yeah, if they get enough requests. What if there was Yellow Bendy versus Yellow Inkling? Then there'd be a lot of yellow ink everywhere.
Lots of mac and cheese.
You should add an alt or Echo Fighter that is 2D? For Bendy? No. Because it wouldn't be able to do the same stuff. What was his side
Bendy's
smash again? The scythe.
Bendy's running animation should be Bendy having his hands out like he's chasing you.
No, because that kind of go against the theme of what I was talking about. with the actual moveset. Because the only time he ever drops the facade is when he goes into Beast Bendy. But aside from that, all of his movements should look cartoony, but because it's very clear that he's like made of ink and is like falling apart, it's like an unsettling cartooning. So he'd run like a cartoon character would, but like as he runs, I imagine like ink would be like flying off of him as he does. Have we talked about arms coming to Smash yet? We'll talk about that at the end. So I guess with that said, was there anything else on Bendy? Maybe his forward smash?
Nope.
Sorry?
Yeah, I was about to read what Mr. Maniac was writing.
Maybe the forward smash, the axe, considering it's the most iconic weapon. I tried incorporating the axe where I could. I opted for the scythe to be the side smash because, according to what I looked up, that is the strongest weapon. So it just made the most sense for that to be the actual smash attack. Whereas the axe is powerful, but that's why I made it into the down smash, because down smashes generally aren't as strong as the side smashes.
Okay. What if he summoned the Butcher Gang?
That probably wouldn't hurt. Like if you made it so that the down special ink puddle made it so that maybe there's a rare chance where instead of a searcher, one of the members of the Butcher Gang can show up. But that goes back to a previous problem though. If it did, I don't want whatever spawns from his ink puddle to be able to move around, because that'd be overkill. So if it did summon the Butcher Gang, they'd have to stay in place. They shouldn't be allowed to move around. Like, I know Bowser Jr. has the Mecha Koopa, and I also know that I made Eggman's down special, the Badniks, which can move around. The difference there is that that's really Eggman's only good way of stage control among his movesets, whereas Bendy has a lot more stage control in his other attacks. And even then, the Badniks are more of a nuisance. They're not as threatening as what the Searchers would be. Because the Searchers can grab you. Like, that's a problem.
Right.
Up B should be a tether recovery where Bendy stretches his arm. That's kind of stretching it. Then everyone on subs all at once. Well. Alright, so should we go ahead and move on next? Move to the next character, which took me by surprise as how much people wanted this.
That being said, somebody actually just messaged me on Discord with questions for Crazy Dave.
Okay, so we get to move to Crazy Dave then? I'm seeing yes. Would the Protectionist be an Echo Fighter for Ink Bendy? Probably not, because I doubt very highly that the Protectionist can do the same things as Bendy. So, alright, moving on.
Alright, on to the Crazy Dave.
Yeah, so the Plants vs. Zombie fan base be sleeping out here, because I did not... Crazy Dave is still, by far, one of my fastest viewed videos. Like, it's slowed down, of course, since it's been out for a while now, but like... Crazy Dave got like double the amount of views in the time span that when he first started than any other video, and he's still doing one of the best. So why the Plants vs. Zombie actually be hiding in the ground, waiting to resurface when Plants vs. Zombie stuff is brought up? Like,
okay. Anyway, so these are some of the questions that I was asked. Is it intentional that all the plants that you use in the moveset are specifically from the first part of Plants vs. Zombies?
well, they're not all. The Bonk Choi and the Snapdragon are from 2. But I know a lot of people did bring up how I did use a lot more Plants vs. Zombies 1. Like, there's other Plants vs. Zombie games, right? Like, they say that to me. yes, I'm aware, but I used the plants that were the most iconic. Like, I did a lot of research on what plants did what plants were most seen, and what plants were like most shown, and the plants that I chose were generally the most known ones that could fit the role that they did.
Okay. And then the second one is not really a question, but missed opportunity on not using sun as a gimmick.
I thought about it. I really did. My whole thing is that the only way the sun would really work properly is that if it fell randomly from the sky, and then that would lead to a point where the Crazy Dave player would find themselves getting distracted quite often. And the issue with this is that Crazy Dave is a slow character. Him chasing around these sun pellets just to make sure that he can still use his attacks would probably be more detrimental than anything else.
Okay. And apparently, plants. The bok choy, it technically was introduced in Plants vs. Zombies 1, but it was in the Chinese version. So we didn't see that until Plants vs. Zombies 2. So technically bok choy was in 1.
Okay, well, I mean, still, I saw bok choy all over the place. I figured it was iconic, so.
Okay.
Alright, so let's see. Not a huge gripe for the moveset, but for the drawing, I was kind of bothered. Your drawing for the down air, you said it could produce a trail of fire, yet you didn't draw it. Did I not draw it? Well,
I don't think you did.
Did I say a trail of fire, or that it just dealt fire damage? Oh, regardless, it's hot. It's a jalapeno. If I said it would make a trail of fire but didn't draw fire, that's my bad then. That's my bad.
Okay, Doc Cero said they liked the moveset, but they felt that the mushrooms were really underrepresented.
Yeah. I guess I didn't see much place for them. Like, 'cause yeah, I used the puff stool for his pummel, but that was it. I guess I didn't see much place because a lot of the mushrooms, they most of them do a lot of the same things that the day plants do, but you use the mushrooms specifically for the nighttime stages. I know there's there's like the tall one that gets scared whenever someone gets nearby. That's pretty much a pea shooter for the most part. There's the one that shoots the bubbles. I know that was there. I know there was the one that can shoot all around that everybody uses for grinding money, and that could have been used for a neutral special. Or, sorry, neutral air. Sorry. I think I just ended up opting for the starfruit more because I saw more in terms of what's iconic. I saw more starfruits more than that. Maybe use the mushrooms for nighttime stages. That'd be a little too situational, I feel. Like, I don't think there really are a whole lot of nighttime stages anyway, so you wouldn't see in that. You wouldn't really see, like, what is there? There's like Battlefield and Gwar Plains can turn to night. Castlevania is a nighttime stage.
Can't Animal Crossing turn night?
Yeah, Animal Crossing can turn night. Luigi's Mansion. Okay, there's a few, but not a whole lot. And again, I think the problem with that, like, the mushrooms may be like the like the plants, the daytime plants, but they are for the most part different. So if there were, well, I don't know. It wouldn't. Pea shooter can't be replaced because, like, Gatling pea, like, you know, repeater. Pea shooter's the only one that has those options. Like, there's no nighttime version of the walnut. The only nighttime version of the bomb is the Doom Shroom, and I made that the final smash. Or a part of the final smash, I should say.
Okay. What you call it? Hang on, let me go back up real quick. Why did you do Crazy Dave and not Pea Shooter from Garden Warfare 2?
Because Crazy Dave had way more requests, my guy. When I say way more, I mean way more.
Okay, Steve Samuel says, You could change the down air to be a wasabi and incorporate the pepper into the down smash.
The wasabi. I'm guessing that's definitely from a different game because I don't know what that does, so I couldn't tell you on that. As for actually, somebody in the comments I remember thought of a really funny idea for the down smash that I'm kicking myself for not thinking of. And dang it, I should have written down their name. I'm gonna have to go back and try to find that. But someone thought of the idea of, because remember, for the down smash, they made it so that it's 2 squashes. But they thought of the genius idea of one of the squashes being an imitator. And that was pure genius. Because the thing about... Thank you. Oh, yeah. Thank you, see? Yeah, so, like... Because the thing about Plants vs. Zombies... You can never put down 2 of the same plants at the same time. Because the plants have to recharge for a little bit. Well, not all of them recharge. You can put them down like one at a time, but never at the same time. Squashes in particular need to recharge. You can never put down 2 squashes at the same time unless one of them is an imitator. Specifically imitating the squash. So that was a genius idea. So find his name. Down smash one of the squashes being an imitator. Because it's okay, for those who don't know what the imitator is, it's imagine a gray potato dressed up like a mime, and it has the power to literally do whatever any other one plant can do for 1 round. Do I still play Plants vs. Zombies a lot? Not as often as not as often as when I did Crazy Dave, because I've just been busy with other things. Not to mention, like when Mystery Dungeon came out, I was playing that, and now Animal Crossing's out, so
Okay, I got a couple of questions. So,
okay.
Somebody asked, Crazy Dave should have Citron as his neutral special. Citron would come out of the pot and fire a laser until it overheats, as the Citron would then return inside the pot.
I don't know what Citron is, so. But,
okay.
Again, Pea Shooter is the face. If not Sunflower, it's Pea Shooter. And Pea Shooter could be used for something else, sure. But again, I wanted to use what was most iconic. And to be fair, if I don't know, after researching literally every plant and seeing everything everywhere, like, if I didn't see it everywhere, that tells me it's not that iconic.
Okay. Somebody asked, can he swim because he's a big guy?
Yeah. You know, big guys can swim. Like, why wouldn't they?
Okay, and then, should the top of his head have super armor?
Nah.
Because he's got the pot on his head.
Nah. It's the pot is there to protect his head. Because that's the thing about the Plants vs. Zombies world. It's not just him wearing something on his head. Like, we see in some Chinese... I saw in some Chinese commercials that, like, his neighbors also wear random... Like, there's, like, a little girl that was, like, a garden hose wrapped around her head. I think the other... Like, no one wears, like, a normal helmet. They all just wear random house appliances. And they do so to make sure that zombies don't go chomping on their head. That's what it's there for. Anyway, give me 1 second. I need to go get myself a bottle of water because I'm getting parched. So give me 1 second, everyone.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Alright. Okay, welcome back.
Hydrate yourselves. I should have gotten water before the stream, so that's my bad. All right. Anyway, so
Yeah, no problem.
any more questions? What more questions?
When he swims, can he be in a floaty to reference the levels that have water in them?
Ooh, that's a fun idea. Actually, I like that. Who said
Yeah,
that?
that's White Oak 19.
Okay, White Oak. I remember you. So,
Yeah, White Oak 019.
I like that
Yeah.
idea. White Oak. Isn't it 019, I believe?
Yeah, 019, yes.
Ah. Come back. Where'd you go? Dave, come back. There he is. When in the water, he could be in a similar inflatable tube that we see water zombies in. That's a funny idea. I like that. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, any other questions regarding the moveset? How many pea shooters can be on stage at a time? I think I said 2. I believe I said 2. Like, he can have 2 on stage at a time, and he can still use his special where he shoots it from the pot, but he can't plant anymore after the 2. Unless he uses his down tilt on the plant to dig it out of the ground.
Mr. Maniac asks, how much did Zomboss spike in requests after Dave?
A lot. Let's just say if next time I get around to doing a Plants vs. Zombies character, he's probably the next. Like, by a lot.
Would Crazy Dave be voiced, or would he be speaking the gibberish?
Probably just the gibberish. It'd probably be a mix of both, because I remember in the comics, he speaks. His niece, I forget what her name was. His niece says that he speaks like a Crazy Dave language. So like, there's bits of English in it, but it mostly is just gibberish. So it'd probably be a little mix of both. Mostly the gibberish though. Then again, I don't know how canon the comics are, but regardless. Oh no, we lagging? Or is that just Steve?
I don't know.
Only Steve's saying we're lagging. We good?
I don't know. Someone asked his down throw he should hit with his hat.
No, because he never takes his hat off. He has to keep it on at all times, otherwise he might get bitten by a zombie in that very moment. The hat must stay on. The pot must stay on his head. No lag? Okay, we're good. Alright. Sunflower could be used for a charging thing similar to clouds. That seemed like a force idea to me.
Give Crazy Dave a limit break.
Why is a toadstool not used to grab? How would a toadstool grab somebody? Unless your name is Toad.
I was just gonna say ask Toad.
Or Peach, I guess.
Some people are saying that when he gets star KO'd or when he's knocked off the stage, he should scream no.
Oh, it's a reference to when you get game overs.
Yeah.
That's an idea. What would that sound like coming from Dave, though? Because it wouldn't be the same no. Because you're not playing as Crazy Dave in the games. You're playing as just some nameless guy representing yourself. Make the sunflower the up B, being like Pac-Man's side B, with a bunch of suns appearing that you get dragged to? That seems a little forced. Not gonna lie. Why didn't Neutral B use other pea shooters from 2? Again, I just used what was most iconic. A lot of people were wondering why I didn't use Snow Pea, because I felt like, well, what did I use? I used pea shooter, repeater, split pea, Gatling pea, and 3-peater. That's 5. That's more than enough. There's no need to have more than that. That's why I opted against, because I figured 5's enough. Any more than that is probably going to be pushing it by a bit. If anyone had to go, I figured Snow Pea would be the one. Let's see. Let him use a lily pad on the water. I like the inflatable tube more. because that actually submerges him in the water. Whereas with the lily pad, for one thing, I don't think lily pad would be big enough to support him, and he'd be on top of the water, not in it. So. Oh yeah, Maniac. When am I showing the next character to the tier 4 members? Soon. I've been in the middle of working on the thumbnail because a part of the thumbnail needs to get made still. As soon as it's done, though, you'll see it. It should be coming out pretty soon. All right, so are we done with Crazy Dave then?
Looks like it. Someone wants to know, how do you feel about Steven Universe Future ending tomorrow?
It's stressing me out. Anyway, well, one quick thing I'll cover for Crazy Dave that I know a good number of people have talked about in the moveset itself, in the comments of the video, is wondering why didn't make Crazy Dave like a Pokemon trainer style character where you can control multiple plants with different movesets. My reasoning for that is that, nothing's stopping. Crazy Dave has shown that he's willing to get involved in the action, as opposed to trainers that will stay on the sidelines. Not to mention, that would limit it to only 3 plants at most. So, and I wanted to be able to incorporate a lot of plants, because that's the point of Plants vs. Zombies, to use a lot of different plants to defend your yard. No, Bagel Toast, Steven Universe isn't getting canceled. It's actually just ending. It's reaching its finale. It's just almost done. It's not getting canceled. It's actually almost done.
Okay, I think for the most part, we're good to move on to Silver.
Bulver is not that iconic. That's true, Bulver isn't that iconic, but I couldn't really find any other plant that I felt would give him height in some that can, like, in some believable way, based on the context of what that plant does, give him height. Like Sunflower, like the idea of him following a trail of sunlight, that's a little meh. All right, so let's go ahead and move on then. Next up is Silver the Hedgehog. Surprisingly done before the likes of Amy or Metal Sonic. Or, yeah, like I said, like again, just like the Plants vs. Zombie fans, the Silver fans out here be sleeping on us. Alrighty, so any questions or issues or anything about Silver?
It's no use. It's no use. It's no use. It's like, that's just what everyone's saying.
Well, on to the next character then.
Would his throws be strong?
They would. I made a point of that in the video. They'd be deadly. Very deadly. Like, I made a point of that in the video. They would be extremely deadly. Did my music stop again? Gosh, diddly, dang it. It stopped right at Gangplank Galleon. Rude. How dare you? How dare you stall me from Gangplank Galleon? Anyway.
Okay. Silver's up special should be teleporting.
No.
Okay, can you wobble with Silver?
Wobble? What do you mean wobble?
Oh, Ice Climbers Wobble?
What?
The Ice Climbers thing from Melee, where they just had an infinite grab on you.
Oh, no. No, because, for one thing, he's by himself, and for two things, his throws are so strong, he's not grabbing you again after he throws you. He'll be too far away.
I think it's just more so in reference to how, like, yeah, in 06, like, the minute, like, he's able to grab you and you're too close, you're just done.
Oh, that's true. No, this is a moveset that's not broken, I hope. No, Copper. No, Cooper. Melee isn't gross. The Melee players are gross because they don't shower. tried giving them the benefit of the doubt, but then I go to 2 tournaments in my life, 2 Melee tournaments in my life, and my nose was assaulted at both of them. It's real. Melee players stink.
Yeah.
Why did you do not incorporate gravity control from the Zero Gravity game? Oh, you mean the Writers game? I feel like if I'm gonna do that, I'll give that to like Jet the Hawk or something, not Silver. Silver's not known for that. Is Silver hydrophobic? Good question. Can Silver swim? I imagine he can.
Well, don't you just fall through the water in 06?
Everyone fall through the water in 06.
I know, that's what I'm just saying.
Even
Don't you
Knuckles,
just...
who we know can swim, so
It's like, yeah.
we don't know.
Rowlet guy asked, would Silver have a special victory animation if he defeats Sonic?
Oh, maybe say a unique line. I don't think he'd have a different animation, but he might say a unique line. I don't know. Then again, I don't know what he'd say. Because he wouldn't say anything along the lines of Iglis Trigger. That's no Iglis Trigger. That's no longer canon.
Maybe he can't swim, but he can just levitate himself in the water.
Well, it's not really. We're not sure. Sonic technically can swim in Smash, but the term hydrophobic means that you take damage when you're in water. So, like, Sonic, the Inklings, Fire-type Pokemon, that happens to all of them. I can't remember if it was any others, but regardless. Wait, no. There's a surefire way we can know. Is Silver forced to wear a life jacket during the Olympic Games water contests?
I don't think so.
Then he can swim. Because Sonic is the only one who has to do that. Sonic
I can. Yeah, Sonic does wear a life jacket.
Yeah.
I can answer this. I've got the Tokyo Games on my.
There we go. Okay, that answers that question. Because in the Olympic Games, every character can swim, but Sonic, who can canonically not swim, wears a life jacket as a nice little attention to detail. Silver does not, which means that canonically he can swim. And are we taking requests? Yes, we are taking requests.
Yeah, it's just not barely anybody's taking the request, but that tends to be the case with video with the streams like this because we're far more focused on answering questions specifically about the movesets.
Yeah.
Is it safe to say Silver would be a grappler character?
To an extent, yes. Very much so. Like he has a lot of spacing options, but for the most part, like it's literally like, if you stay far away from him, he's gonna be zoning you out. If you try to get close to him, he's gonna try to grab you. He's very much a zoner character.
Okay.
Is there anything else on Silver then?
Let me see. Would Silver be similar to Ness and Lucas?
I did compare them quite a bit in the video, but that's just because they're both psychics. That's kind of just what happens. By the fact that their grabs are scary, sure, but aside from that, not much else. Like, they have a few attacks that may look similar, but for the most part, Silver is as unique of a psychic compared to the other psychics in Smash as he can be.
Okay. A couple of people have been asking, can he float like Peach and Daisy?
I know some people brought that idea up. I opted against that because he pretty much can kind of already do that with the up special that I've given him.
No float canceling with Silver.
Make his walk slow but run fast?
Have the ball puzzle in the moveset.
No. There was a reason why I glitched the game to skip that entirely when I was recording footage from that game. No, seriously.
Why would you even want that?
when I had to replay through a good chunk of Sonic 06 to get the footage that I did, which sucked because that game was terrible. It plays awful and his control is bad and it's glitchy. So when I got to the desert part in that last ball puzzle, I said no thank you, and I just glitched past the door.
I come back to get some dinner, and I'm hearing god-awful stories of Sonic 06 and the ball mission with Silver.
Yeah, I glitched past the door and got an automatic S rank for it.
Yeah, that's how you do it. Glitch your way through the awfulness.
Save myself 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Oh, that's being too generous, my friend.
All right. Anything else about Silver?
Can you walk on walls and ceilings with Silver?
Walk on them? No. Did I? I can't. I may have given him the ability to wall jump. I can't remember if I did or not though. Walk on them? No. I don't think he does that. I don't think he does that at all in any of his games anyway.
Yeah, memory serves. I don't believe it's ever been shown that Silver could do that, even in Sonic 06.
Can Silver's up special help him fly towards the chosen direction? Yes, because just activating up special makes him begin to float in place, and then using the control stick lets you control him freely until it runs out. So it works very much like a more free-form version of what the floating is in 06, where in 06, you hold the button down, and he'll just start floating, and then you use the control stick to control which way he flies. So it's like that, but instead of using the X-axis, he uses the Y, and he uses both the Y and X. He uses both X and Y axes. How would we see when his float runs out? When his body stops glowing. Because remember, whenever Silver floats, he can't naturally fly on his own. What he's doing is he's using his powers to lift his own body up. So whenever he's flying, his body glows green. I know not every game likes to show that, but since when has Sonic been consistent? Anyway, so when his body stops glowing green, that's how you know that he's about to fall.
Mac Madness asks, how far does his grab reach?
I'd say about on par with Palutena, Mewtwo, and like Zelda among them. It's a telekinetic grab. So generally, some of the best grab ranges in the game, if they're not tether grabs, are the telekinetic ones. So it'd be like that. It'd be like one of theirs.
Alrighty.
Pea Shooter, I just answered your question. Silver should have a high double jump. I don't think he really needs it. He'd probably have an average jump.
Pummel should be Silver compressing his opponent.
How would that be translated, though? I don't know how that would look. Is Silver as heavy as Sonic? I think he's definitely a lightweight. I forget if I made him as heavy as Sonic or heavier or lighter. I can't remember exactly where. Like it should show in the video itself. Do alts change the psychic glow? No, his psychic powers will always be like the green, teal, whatever it is, at all times. Who's breathing right into their mic?
No idea.
I have my mic muted.
Yeah, so it's probably Brian then.
Is it me?
Probably. Let me see. We'll stop now. Oh, no,
Okay.
it's Danny. Never mind, it's Danny.
Don't know why, because my phone is not near my mouth.
That is weird. Huh. Yeah, that is definitely you, Danny.
Okay, hang on.
Well, in which case, so we good for Silver then? We move on? Because I know this next character, some people probably have some words for. Think we can move on?
All right, yeah, I think it's safe to say it's no use trying to fix the moveset anymore. Let's move on.
Ha!
Alrighty, so next up, the Monster Hunter. So let me go ahead and get out of the way the glaring thing that a lot of people said that they didn't like about the moveset, even though I tried to make clear in the video itself what I was going for. The fact that I did not give the Hunter more than one weapon. The fact that I only gave him the Greatsword, and that was it. I made clear in the video... Now, I said this in the last stream that I did. If Sakurai made a Monster Hunter moveset and put it into Smash, do I think he would give the Hunter multiple weapons? More than likely, yes. That doesn't mean but this is what I think would be cool for a moveset that well represents the character. And even though more than likely if a Monster Hunter rep did get into Smash, like, in reality, there would only be the one Hunter and that's it. But I personally think it would be cool if there were multiple Hunters, each with their own individual weapon. Each using one weapon with like varied traps with varied specials depending on their weapon. Because people say you didn't represent the Monster Hunter that well because you only used the one weapon, when Monster Hunter is about all the weapons. But the reality of it is that that's only if you're playing multiplayer. If you're playing single player, you're using one weapon. So as such, I feel like if you want to have multiple weapons being used during a Smash match, there should be multiple Hunters. So that's why I did it the way I did it. So the way I see it, if you guys want to see other weapons be used in a Monster Hunter moveset, then you should request other weapons for Hunters. Because I am more than willing to make more Monster Hunter movesets based on other weapons. I do not mind that at all. So I wanted to get that one out of the way right now. That's why I did it the way I did it. So if you want sorry?
Yeah, go on ahead.
Yeah, so if you want to request other Hunter weapons, go right ahead. I'm more than happy to do that.
Okay, so White Oak asks, the Palico should have been utilized more so as a move rather than just taunts and victory animation.
I wasn't sure how. Like, I really wasn't sure how. Like, Palico is definitely very supportive. Like, they've saved me on more than a few occasions. But, I wasn't really sure where to do so. Because, again, especially in the case of the Greatsword, there was more than enough attacks from the Greatsword to fill out the whole moveset that I wasn't really sure where to put. Spiral Mountain, heck yeah. Where to put Palico. So I figured, just like with Morgana for Joker's moveset, I figured the taunts and the victory animations would be fine enough. You think Palico should be a whole other fighter? Yeah, I'd be more than happy to do that too. Like, yeah, if you want to see Palico, request Palico. I'll make a Palico moveset. I do not mind that at all.
You technically can't. Yeah, that would be up for grabs because, yeah, Palicos have their own section of the game where you can do hunting with the Palicos.
In general,
yeah, the Prowlers.
The Prowlers, yeah. So, it'd be easy.
Yeah, so you can request a Palico.
And then Duck Hunt can finally have his fight with a cat.
Yes. Admiralson Jr. says, you said that by pressing Shield plus A, Monster Hunter would kick, but you also said he would have a grab. But that's impossible since pressing Shield and A is the input for grabbing.
Okay, someone in the comments did bring this to my attention, so I will, let me write this down so I can try to clarify this. Cause, and this was something that I actually learned from this guy, cause this was a mistake on my part. So let me talk about this. The, Shield plus A having Hunter kick when that input is needed for grabs. And I gotta remember what it was that because, like, I talked about it with the guy, and I think it came to a thing where it's like, because I do still think this could work. It would need some programming tweaking, however. Like, I think this can be a case where, because what messed me up about it was the fact that because there's a generally most people that I've seen you just use a designated grab button. That's what they do, and that's why I made this mistake originally without fully thinking it through. But I feel like with a little programming tweak, it could be made so that if you do use the A button out of shield to grab, you could still either do that or the kick. It would just require a little more precision and a bit of programming. I gotta remember what it was I said to the guy. I think it was something along the lines of like maybe a tap and hold thing that can make it work, or something along those lines. Like I feel like it can still work, but that was definitely something that I should have thought through more and clarified more. But unfortunately, I was a bit ignorant about how the grab buttons actually work. So that is a problem. That was an issue. That was a mistake on my part. So need to think through more later. Yeah, because, like, again, it would probably require a programming tweak, and I'm not sure if this would work for every controller, but it could just be a thing where, like, if you want to grab out a shield, just press your designated grab button, and if you want to use the kick, then just press the attack button. That's what I'd say for that. But, again, like, that probably wouldn't work for most characters in Smash. I'm not quite sure. But, again, it would require a bit of programming tweaks for the hunter specifically, I would say. In which case, anything else for the hunter? Make the kick, shield. No, shield B is weapon sharpening. Because remember, there's the gimmick where the great sword deals massive damage, but dulls over time and does less damage after every hit. So you gotta keep sharpening it to keep making it deal consistent damage. No, shield B is the sharpening.
Jeremy Oliver asks, could Monster Hunter have a weapon selection before the match starts of all 14 weapons, like Pokemon Trainer can choose who to start with?
There could be an idea if you wanted to limit the special. If you wanted to keep the specials the same no matter what, which I don't think would be that smart of an idea considering what certain weapons can do. You could make it where, like, some weird character selection thing where you can choose what weapon you want to go into battle with, but you can't change it over the course of the battle at all. But again, I kind of prefer the idea of there just being multiple hunter characters, each with their own weapon, because then that can give us more varieties for specials, more varieties for costumes, things like that. Plus, not to mention, not every hunter would have the same gimmick, because not every weapon needs to be sharpened. Not every weapon allows you to kick while you're guarding. Things like that. Alright, Maniac, why do you keep saying that?
Because that was the stream. That was the stream where the pro gamer crap started.
That's right. Yeah, that sucks. Again, normal citizen. If you're listening, I'm sorry about that. Like, I should have been paying more attention because that should not have happened at all. If you want it to happen, don't worry about it. It's taken care of, hopefully for now. But yeah, that sucked. That did suck. Yeah. But anyway, so like for the moveset itself, was there any other questions about it? Any other issues?
Yeah, it's like I'm seeing like a couple people are, suggesting some ideas on how to handle the kick. Like perfect shield turns into a kick, different button inputs, like that kind of stuff. Like maybe like if if whoever is attacking you is right on top of you, it's a shield, but if they're not, then it's a kick. So I'm seeing a couple people throwing ideas out.
Yeah. But Did I ever say what stage it could be used? We do a whole separate stream for that. The aesthetic streams. We talk about all that there.
BJ, can you change imitator to imitator? The fact that it's spelled that way, that's part of the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a potato. It's a tater.
Yeah, it's a tater. It's imitator.
Yeah, it's deliberately spelled that way because that's the joke.
What game is Monster Hunter from? I don't know. Brandon, what game is Monster Hunter from?
Couldn't tell you.
Monster Hunter Final Smash can be the Dragonator? I don't know. I wanted to include the monsters in some way. And I feel like mounting a monster and letting the opponents be collateral damage to trying to wrestle the monster down was just a much more perfect idea. Because actually, let me bring this up as well. The Monster Hunter in Marvel vs. Infinite, honestly, was a very disappointing representation for me. Because, like, and aside from the fact that they use multiple weapons, that's one thing. But the fact that they use multiple weapons kind of limited a lot of what the hunter really does. We don't see a lot of the traps. We don't see a lot of the various tools used to actually hunt the monsters. It was all about the weapons. The only little side thing that we see from them is the barrel bomb for a level 3 super. And to me, that was really disappointing. We saw no real monster representation out of it. It was honestly it felt like a really generic moveset to me. I didn't like it. Can I do a stream where I give characters reveal trailers? I don't think I have the resources to do that, my guy. Alright, anything else for the Monster Hunter before we move on?
The kick could be a dodge plus A, like Terry's dodge attack.
I did think about that. My only problem with it is that what it's referencing is a guard. Like, you can only do that when you're guarding, not when you're dodging. Like, I know there's only dodge rolls in Monster Hunter, not side steps, but the point's still there. Like, the kick can only happen when you're shielding. Oh, you know what? Actually, I think I just remembered what it was that I brought up as a compromise. Because remember, generally, regardless of whether you're using a designated grab button or not, there's always 2 shield buttons on most default controllers. There's always 2 shield buttons. So the idea that I thought of that if for whatever reason you're not going to use the designated grab button and rather use shield A, again, it requires a bit more input. But if you wanted to grab out of your shield instead of pressing the A button, you can, while holding your current shield, you can press the other shield button plus the attack to do the grab. That's what it was that's what it was I told the guy, and he seemed fine with that. So let me write that down. There we go. Okay. So that was the idea that I thought of. Alright, so gonna be good for Monster Hunter then?
Looks like it.
Okay. Alright, so next up. Character who wishes he was 50 but was 49. Mettaton. So the only real immediate mistake, and again, this has nothing to do with the moveset, this is just a goof up on my part editing wise, was that for the box form side smash, I called it a side tilt on accident. So that was like really the only big goof up editing wise in the video itself that happened. So aside from that, any issues or problems with the Mettaton moveset itself? How would Mettaton box jump? He would just jump. I mean, how does any character in Smash jump? They squat down and then they just jump. Would Mettaton be able to choose between box or EX form before a match starts, just like Azrael and Flabba? Yes, he can. Yeah, it's Zelda chic. It's a switchable moveset. Not enough Mettaton needs more Mettaton. You're absolutely right.
Mettaton Neo should be a punishment if your ratings drop to 0.
Again, I didn't want to incorporate Neo the direct Neo form in any way because we don't know what it does. Like, I liked the idea of using the wings for an episode for the EX form, but aside from that, we don't know what it does, so I didn't want to incorporate it.
Okay, you said Mettaton is immune to his bombs, but don't you think he should get hurt by them if they're reflected or pocketed?
Yeah. Like, he's immune to his own bombs if he's the one that threw them, but if they were reflected or pocketed, then yeah, he would get hurt by them in that sense. I probably should have been I probably should have clarified that. So.
And then Mettaton shouldn't be able to swim in his box form because he's so heavy.
Mettaton doesn't need to apply by your rules. He's made of metal and magic. Question, actually, are Mega Man and Rob hydrophobic? Do Mega Man and Rob take damage from water? Because if they don't, then Mettaton shouldn't either.
No, they do not.
Okay, so then I think Mettaton's fine in the water then. I'm seeing more no's, so.
For swimming, make regular Mettaton do a seductive swim.
Backstroke. That'd be funny.
Okay. What happens if his ratings drop to 0?
He's just really weak at that point. His attacks are doing next to nothing. Because remember, his ratings directly reflect how much damage he's doing. So the higher his ratings, the more damage his attacks will deal. So if he has no ratings, he's doing zilch. Like, he'll still deal damage, but it's minuscule at best. How would you animate Mettaton's up air? Which Mettaton? The box. Where were they? The box was him shooting the him morphing his arms to look like the upside down soul and then shooting upwards. Whereas I think I made EXs where he just shoves both arms into the air for that pose, and his arm shoving up does a pose, or hurts.
Okay. Let me see. Mettaton should have 2 other costumes: the MTT News and the Dress.
I thought about those. I probably really could have used those, honestly, because I gave Papyrus an alternate costume and then none to Sans. Because honestly, I probably could have just done that. Because the reason why I didn't do that for Mettaton was because EX doesn't have any costumes. But yeah, looking back at it now, it's like I did give Papyrus alts, and Undyne too, actually. Undyne had alts too, when their second forms didn't. So really, I probably could have. The dress, no, because I wanted the dress. I want the dress to be one of his victory animations. The suit, probably, yeah, but the dress, no. I did reference Burger Pants once in one of his EX victory animations.
Yeah, as for because I'm seeing a couple people saying, reference his hotel. That would work for his stage.
Yeah. Like the stage. Probably just the stage, honestly, because he does have that platform, but that is a bit generic. So probably his stage would be the hotel. When ratings are 0, he tries to raise them when idle? Nah. Like, again, this is just how it works in entertainment, folks. If you want to get high ratings, you gotta work for it. So if you for whatever reason your ratings are at 0, you gotta work to get them back up. You gotta work for those ratings. You gotta be a star. You gotta work hard, just like Mettaton. Not everything in life is handed to you, everybody. You gotta work for it. That's just how it works. That's what Mettaton did. He started with nothing, and then he worked for he worked for where he is now. I just said there is a reference to Burger Pants. It's in one of the victory animations. He's playing as the bush in the background.
Also, that was you base Mettaton's alternate colors based off of Burger Pants, right?
One of them, but vaguely. It's more based off the orange tile of the puzzle, but it can be argued that it's also Burger Pants.
Yeah.
Bratty and Catty references. Mettaton never really interacts with them. Like they gush about him, but Mettaton himself never really acts with them. Neo as an EX alternate skin, nah, because again, it's a little. It feels a little too different.
Can you pocket the words from Up Smash?
I didn't think about that. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. Like, it's a fixed thing that happens, so, no. Is Mettaton's defense affected by his ratings? No, it's not. It's only his damage output that's affected by the ratings. So, that's why the weight of the two forms is so drastically different. So, like, if you feel like you're in a corner and the next attack can kill you, you want to be the box form, because he's so heavy. Oh, more. He's so heavy that he can probably take more hits, where the EX form is a little riskier to use because it's so much lighter, but it's a lot better at getting combos, and it's also a lot faster.
Okay, Michael Bean asks, starting the match, where would his ratings start at?
Okay, this is something I really didn't go over in the video itself. Because I brought it up just in concept form, but didn't actually go over specifics. I know in the game you reach 10,000, and that's when the fight ends. So I can imagine 10,000 being the max. Where did the rating start in the match? Was it like 3,000? Let's say the ratings will start wherever they started in the fight with EX itself. So I think it's like 3. Is it like 3,000? Or is it lower? Or is it lower or higher than that? I don't remember. 4,000. Okay, so then they would start at 4,000. There you go. Oh, or is it?
Yeah, because don't you usually start like right in the middle?
I remember it was below the middle. And now I'm seeing both 4,000 and 3,000. Regardless, it's wherever the ratings start in the fight itself. And the max would be 10,000, the min would be 0. But again, if your ratings ever get to 0 for whatever reason, you're doing something wrong. So. Does EX still look at the screen like Boxworm? Probably not. Like, he may, like, glance at the screen here and there during an idle or something, but probably, would he actually be always looking at the screen? Probably not. Maybe for one of his first scenes, he could be all broken up but come back together and then dance if his ratings are low when he wins. I don't know. I did already have one victory animation where he slides in on his knees, but his arms are just missing for some reason. Had one Tompy flirt. Flirt has nothing to do with Mettaton. Like I said, I made the taunt specifically the 3 acts that you use in the fight against him during EX form. Pose, boast, and heel turn. Like, there's specific references to that, and they're important taunts because they can actually help affect your ratings. Would the onomatopoeia from the box form smash? It'd be varied. It would be varied. Like, it would always do the same thing. Like, it would never change how it affects, but the words that pop out would just be random. But it would always do the same thing no matter what. It would just be, it would just look different. How much damage do you deal at max ratings? I didn't think about that. That would have to be something that would have to be like looked at through like actual like testing these movesets out to see what was considered pushing it and what's considered acceptable for earning that amount of rating.
If taunts affect your ratings, what about online when they're disabled?
I went over all of that during the video. So it'd be just okay. For one thing, again, two things. Long answer. I never make these movesets with the intention of them getting into Ultimate. I make them with the idea for what if they were in Smash in general. And nothing says that in a future Smash game that taunts would be disabled online. That's just an Ultimate thing right now. Simple answer, look at Kirby. Kirby can still release copy abilities, which requires him to taunt in online quick play. So it can be the same thing for Mettaton, where the effects of his taunts can still activate, he just won't do the taunts. Or he could. He could be the only character who taunts, because, again, it's Mettaton. He's boastful. He loves to show off. So it makes sense that he taunt. And if people get mad at you for doing something that's a part of the moveset, they're just big babies. That's all. Then again, if those same people would probably just be mad about the fact that they're fighting an Undertale character at all. So.
Okay. Who did the pose better, Mettaton or DDD?
We need to see them side by side.
Yes.
Yes. That is the correct answer, Ryan. Exactly. Yes.
The answer is yes.
How would the animation of EX becoming box form look like? Now, that's a good question. I kind of just imagine that he would, like, disappear behind... Like, it happened near instantaneously. Like, it'd be a very quick effect. But I imagine, like, he would disappear behind, like, a smoke screen and then reappear in the new form. That's kind of what I imagined.
Would the final Smash greatly increase ratings?
Technically, yes, it could, because it does deal damage. And remember, your ratings go up whenever you whenever you land hits. So I can very well see it where it could increase ratings, yeah. And like it just won't decrease ratings. It'll only increase ratings for every hit landed. So yeah, I could very well see that it would. Because again, generally Final Smashes are designed to kind of help give you an edge in battle. So, and there are plenty of Final Smashes that, like, will give you after effects even after they're ended. Like, look at Peach and Daisy's, for example. Like, their Final Smash puts everybody to sleep and then gives them... My throat is getting hoarse, wow. Puts everyone to sleep and then gives them a chance to heal. And then attack right afterwards, so... That squirted right at my nose.
Someone was asking, what if you played off of the on-brand food? Like when you eat the food and it heals you? Well, what if you specifically ate things like burgers or steak? That increases ratings.
That's a funny idea.
Because it's on-brand food.
Well, I guess that depends. Are they on-brand? Because, there's a difference between the Glam Burger and then a McDonald's Happy Meal. There's a difference. So it depends. Like, is the food on the ground a Glam Burger, or is it just some generic burger from anywhere? Did my music stop again? Gosh dang it. Stop stopping my music. So I'm going to say no to that. If only because they're not on brand. It's a funny idea, though. I do like that. What if any character taunt raises Mettaton's ratings? Nah, it should just be Mettaton's. Would he say something when going back into his box form? He probably would say a little dialogue, probably. Please make pixel art for Mettaton's box form on his screen. It would look very cute. What? What are you talking about?
Why do you make character artwork for the Undertale cast but not anyone else?
Because they don't have official artwork. That's
Yeah.
pretty much the short answer of it. They don't have official artwork. At least no official rendered artwork, I should say. Like, there is some official artwork made by Toby or that Toby's commissioned and such. Like there's the tarot cards and such, all that. But there's no official renders of them aside from the sprites themselves. So I'd much rather just make the artwork. Like honestly, if I had the extra time, I would love to make unique artwork for every character that I've done to show on the title screens. But that's not really extra time that I have right now. Because, like, these pieces of art that I make for the Undertale characters, like, takes, like, a full day. It doesn't help that generally with each one, I gotta make multiple. Like, Pyrus and Sans, Undyne the Undying, Mettaton with its 2 forms. I usually gotta make 2. And that takes me a full day. So... And, like, I like them to look good for the most part. Like, if people are going to be looking at these, especially as thumbnails, I want them to look presentable. I did do it for Dave, too, yes. But that was mostly to kind of help, sell the fact that he's holding a potted plant. Or that he's holding the pot. And that's why I did it, that's why I did it that way. So, yeah, I did do it for Dave as well. Can Mettaton EX slide by Mega Man? I don't think so. No, we can't, because whenever he crouches, he's in the sexy pose. So no, he can't. Mettaton is canonically... Yeah, there were a couple of people that tried saying that Mettaton is a girl in the comments. No, like to get that out of the way now, Mettaton is male. He uses male pronouns in the game. Like, his appearance doesn't matter. He canonically is referred to and refers to himself as male. Alright, so are we good for Mettaton then? Can we move on to the final character? The one that made the ocean water salty? Saltier, I should say.
Looks like it. So yeah, let's move on to the latest character.
Alrighty. SpongeBob SquarePants, the special episode 50th character, and at the time my most requested non-video game character. Does anyone have issues with SpongeBob aside from those who have issues with the fact that I did him at all?
God, shoot.
Okay.
I was just about to make the joke. Everything's wrong with his moveset.
Okay, that being said, so once again, I am on Discord. I think it's just more so, well, for one, would water and water moves affect the down special?
No.
Okay,
Yeah,
then
thank
let's
you.
see. Okay, then yeah, I'll try and read this. I'm not quite sure what they're asking, but BJ, what if had his own worst move, whatever. SpongeBob's side special would not be his best move. I honestly have no idea what this person is asking.
Okay, I'm going to make an assumption on what they're trying to say, because this gets complained about a lot. The side special with the patty toss. A lot of people think that move is busted. I want you guys to think about this for a second. I said in the video that it's a gravity-affected projectile that deals small flinching damage, meaning that if it hits you, it'll interrupt whatever you're doing. So if you're fed, and the patty counters are only get added to you if you're hit from the front, meaning that it has to go into your mouth. So I want you to think about it like this. Most people fighting, later evil, most people fighting a SpongeBob will probably be very much aware of this attack, and they'll know to be on guard for it. So the moment they see SpongeBob pull out his spatula, so long as they're not in a sticky situation themselves, they'll know to be ready to guard it or to turn around even if need be. Even if you get hit by 5 patties and are forced to be put into a daze, which again, may I remind you, Mewtwo can do that with just by only hitting you once. Yes, it's short range, not long range like SpongeBob's is, but you're more likely to be hitting Mewtwo's down special, which, remind you, can also only hit opponents from the front. You're more likely to keep hitting people with Mewtwo's down special than you will be to keep hitting people with SpongeBob's side special, because again, if people see the patties coming, Mewtwo's is right in front of you. It's so instantaneous, most people won't see it coming. Most people will see a patty projectile flying towards them. So think about that. But even if they're made dizzy after eating 5 patties, most people seem to be under the impression, oh, they're dizzy, let me shove 5 more patties into them while they're dizzy to make them explode automatically. The move deals small flinching damage, meaning that yes, you can feed them a patty, 1 more patty, and it'll knock them out of the daze, letting them get away. So, and at that point, more than likely, considering the nature of general Smash matches, even if they're at that point, they're probably at higher damage percents that most people who keep wanting to feed them patties are probably just going to do it for the memes of it. Because most competent Smash players who get somebody dizzy at that point, if the foe is at a high enough damage percent, they're probably just going to go ahead and murder them. They're going to just launch them. They're not going to try to make them explode. They're just going to launch them. So that's just the case for that. People seem to be overestimating what the Krabby Patty toss can do. Unless I'm missing something that... Yeah. Unless I'm... Like, does that make sense to you guys? Because that... Unless I'm missing something here. Does SpongeBob heal in water? No, he does not.
Okay. Can the bubbles be pocketed?
Yes.
Or reflected?
Yes, because all bubbles except for the up bubble and the down bubble, so the bubble bash and the bubble bounce, they're all projectiles. So yes, they can.
Okay. Mr. Maniac is adamant about getting Doodle Bob in here.
Doodle Bob, from what I've seen, has only ever appeared in one video game. And that was as a distraction attack by SpongeBob in the first Nicktoons Unite video game.
Apparently, Mr. Maniac says in Drawn to Life, he is the main villain.
Okay, that's Drawn to Life, but still. He was not a costume for SpongeBob. I opted to use what SpongeBob actually has worn in the video games. And on top of that, he can't be an Echo Fighter because Doodle Bob is flat. Not to mention, he's a drawing, he's not a sponge. He can't do some of the things that SpongeBob can do. So, that's just a hard no. You should have used some material from the show. I did. Only the stuff that was used in the games. Again, you guys gotta remember the rules for non-video game characters. I will only do the character if they have enough material from the video games specifically to make the moveset. I'm not going to borrow anything from their other non-video game material unless that stuff is referenced specifically in the video games. Smash, because remember, non-video game characters will never get into Smash. Sakurai's made that clear. So for my fun, theoretical moveset ideas, I was willing to compromise. I'm willing to do non-video game characters just for the sake of, having fun with it for people to think about it. But for the sake of respecting what Smash is, a celebration of video games, I will only take what is referenced from their video games. That's just the case. I don't care if they had stuff from the show that could have worked a lot better. If it wasn't in the game, then I'm not going to use it. That's just the case. I know it's a little limiting, but again, that's the rule that I set. And no, okay, I see this a lot too. Patrick will not work as an Echo Fighter either, because again, Patrick has a very different body type from SpongeBob. Also, Patrick cannot do half of the stuff that SpongeBob can. Patrick does not play karate. Patrick is not a fry cook. He can't cook Krabby Patties. Patrick cannot inflate himself and spit out water into all directions because he's not a sponge. He's a starfish. So, if Patrick gets a moveset, he's getting his own moveset. He cannot be an Echo. There's no way he can work as an Echo. Some people would be very angry if you changed the rule.
How many bubble attacks does SpongeBob have?
Okay, so he has his default tap one, which is the tiny bubble that comes from Legend of the Lost Spatula. He has the strong bubble, which you do by holding the button down. He has the bounce bubble, which you do by holding the button down and then pressing back. Because how it works is that because remember, generally how it's cardinal specials, so side up and down special, generally how those are activated, it's either you press the button and the control stick at the same time, or you hold the direction first and then press the button. To activate these different forms of the bubble, you gotta hold the button first and then tap the control stick. Because generally, with all attacks in Smash, if you try pressing the button first and then tapping the control stick, they always default to their neutral special. In order to use the side up or down special, you gotta either hold the control stick first, then press the button, or tap it at the same time. So if you use these different bubble attacks, you gotta hold the button first and then tap. Because when you hold the button down, it'll have, because like when you tap it, it'll have SpongeBob pull out his bubble wand and then quickly blow. But if you hold it, he'll pull it out and then begin to inhale. You know, because that's what he does. Whenever he begins to make some kind of bubble creation, he inhales a bit. So while he's inhaling, you then use the appropriate control stick direction that you want for the bubble, and then by pulling it out successfully will make SpongeBob do the appropriate move. So yeah, it's the tiny bubble for the tap, the strong bubble for the hold, special bounce or special back for the bounce bubble, special and then rotate the control stick for the bubble bowl, special up for the bubble bash, special down for the bubble bounce. Oh crap, there's two bouncers. I did not realize that. Yeah, because there's the bounce bubble, which you can bounce on, but then there's the move called the bubble bounce. I did not realize that. Shoot. Well, whatever. Too late now. Anyway. But then there's a tap, hold, forward, which lets you use the bubble missile, the cruise bubble. So that's 7 bubbles. He has 7 bubble attacks.
Some people are asking about the swimming because I guess it's canon that SpongeBob can't swim. So how would he act? How would he act in the water?
That's a tough one, honestly. Because here's the thing: he can't swim in goo. Because canonically, because people are always wondering why is there an ocean underwater? Technically, that water that they're swimming in at the beach, that's not water. That's goo. Like that's why the beach is called Goo Lagoon. It's goo. That's what SpongeBob can't swim in. But he lives underwater, of course. So, like, it would make sense. I get it. He can't swim. So, logically, he'd be hydrophobic. But also, logically, it wouldn't make sense because he lives underwater. SpongeBob, really, logic should not even be applied to SpongeBob. I'm just going to say that for the sake of making things easy, he won't be hydrophobic because he himself lives underwater. And technically, the water used in Smash is not goo. That's what SpongeBob cannot swim in, is goo. He's fine in regular water. So no, he would not be hydrophobic.
Okay. That being said, I'm seeing some people wondering also, like, if SpongeBob does end up in water, would he maybe end up slower because he's absorbing the water? Does he go into the inflated form for the move that you had for him? No. And what if you're playing the dehydrated skin? Does he just rehydrate?
Yeah, it's kind of a sad portion. Like, yeah, okay. So to answer all those questions, going into stage water would not put him into the inflated form. That only happens when you activate the down special. Again, don't apply too much logic to SpongeBob. We've seen him in the show take showers and not inflate. Don't worry about it. As for the dehydrated form, which I know a lot of people are scared of, that's kind of the point. Yes. He would, it would show him briefly rehydrated while filled with water, only to immediately dehydrate again, gasping for air as soon as he runs out of water. So it's kind of a sad state. Like, as I said, as I made the joke, because in the first Nicktoons Unite game, Jimmy Neutron creates this moisture sealant spray that he uses on Spongebob to keep him hydrated even though he's outside of water. Oh, what are you thinking? Does that mean he takes more damage from the Inkling? Nah. Like, you guys generally need to remember, there should never be a time where character-specific attributes specifically put other characters at a disadvantage. Like, the only thing that should put other characters in disadvantageous states from other characters should be, like, speed or power or anything like that. Like, for example, Jigglypuff has a gimmick where they die immediately if their shield is broken. So, by coincidence, they're naturally scareder of characters who have an easier time breaking shields. But there shouldn't be a time where character-specific things not, like, cause either advantages or disadvantages to other characters, not because of gameplay mechanics, but because of just random little tweaks. Like, that shouldn't happen. It's kind of like how people bring up how Flowey shouldn't be able to transform into Azrael with his down special if he attacks someone that isn't human. It's not a matter of him getting a human soul, it's a matter of the theming, which is what causes that. It's kind of one of those things where it's like Smash needs to break the rules a few times for the sake of balance, as well as to make these movesets that are fun but also work. Because it's like, if Flowey's down special only worked on human characters, then it'd be bad. It'd be too situational. And that'd be like people saying how Cuphead's up special should only work on pink characters. No, that's too situational. Some rules just need to be broken. In which case,
okay. Someone asked, how will SpongeBob react to Mario's flood?
Well, he would react in the same exact way that literally, it's like I just said, yeah. He would react in the same exact way that everybody else does. He would just be pushed away by it.
Okay, and then how would he act to fire? Like, what if he got hit by a Charizard?
He'd react in the same exact way as everyone else. That's it.
Okay. How spammable is this side special?
Not that spammable. Like, you saw how fast he was shooting it in the video game that I used? So it's a little like So you can shoot maybe like one every 1.5 to 2 seconds. It's not that spammable. Because SpongeBob there's a bit of start lag because SpongeBob takes the time to pull out his spatula and the patty, throws it up, and then shoots it. And then he has to put his spatula away. So there is some start and end lag on it. It's not that spammable.
Okay.
This one I've seen quite often too. For a costume, he should wear the helmet that he wears in Sandy's house. As far as I've seen, that's never appeared in a game, which is why I didn't. It's never shown up in a video game.
Will characters have a special animation where their thighs are growing before blowing up?
No.
And is there going to be a hitbox on the explosion?
No. It works just like if you run out of stamina in stamina mode, or like if you're hit by thwack or whack from the hero. You just detonate. You're just gone. That's it. It doesn't affect anybody else. There's no animations for it. You just blow up. That's it.
Will the patty counter increase if the eater is grounded or dizzy? Like, would that still count?
Yes. But only if they're hit from the front. But again, like I said, it'll make them flinch. So generally, even if they're grounded or dizzy, if they're hit by it, they'll get knocked out. Usually, which should give them enough time to just be able to get away. Because again, the patty counter is not spammable. It's not spammable by any means. So even if you can get them dizzy or grounded, like, you're only getting one more patty into them. And also, I should also remind you guys, something else to remind you guys that the patty counter isn't as busted as people seem to think it is. It's a projectile, meaning it can be reflected, meaning that, and I did say in the video that SpongeBob is susceptible to his own patties. So SpongeBob himself can receive patty counters, and he will get dizzy or he will explode if he gets enough patty counters too. Brian, remind me, can Mewtwo's disable be reflected? Ryan? He's gone. No.
They're gone.
Well.
Anyway, somebody asked, would anything happen if Kirby sucked up the patty?
Okay, so that was another point that a lot of people brought up. Like, how people think that characters like Kirby, Dedede, and Wario should not be affected by that because they can canonically eat forever. I get it. I do. But that goes back to what I was saying, how some rules just need to be broken for the sake of the movesets. So in this case, you know, it would affect Kirby, Dedede, and Wario like everybody else. Again, think of it like this. It's SpongeBob, just throw all logic out the window. Think of it like that. Though, if you look at it like this, I guess you're asking what happens if they inhale it specifically. Because I know I said that after you throw the patty, if it doesn't hit anybody and lands on the ground, it'll stay there for a couple seconds for somebody to pick up and eat willingly, which does heal them, unlike it does if it's thrown at them, but they still get a patty counter from it. Because I know Kirby, Dedede, and Wario, if they have their mouths open for all of their neutral specials and a food item goes in, they'll heal off of it. I'm gonna say because they're healing off of it, it would still add a counter to them. Because it's no different than them eating normal food. So they would still get a counter from it.
Okay. Somebody says, can SpongeBob chant, I'm ready, whenever he's running?
That's his intro. That's specifically for his intro.
Gotcha.
Because not while he's running. That'll get annoying real quick. Like, I know the whole point of SpongeBob is to kind of be... He's supposed to be a little bit aggravating to everybody, but... No, thank you. Everyone would be turning off the character voices if that happened. When will the next character episode What If air? Next Wednesday on April 1st. Yep. April 1st. Next Wednesday. Anyway.
Would he be pushed back by the water of Pac-Man's fire hydrant?
Yeah. Again, Smash, some rules just need to be broken in general. He would... Any water-related attack, he'd be affected by it just like anybody else. He wouldn't just absorb it. The only way for him to absorb water is through his down special, and that's it. Yeah, Maniac, SpongeBob more than likely would have his tiptoe, because he tiptoes in Battle for Bikini Bottom, so if you walk really slowly in Smash, he probably would be tiptoeing. So you're absolutely right about that. Neutral B has too many inputs. I disagree. I think it has. I don't think it has enough inputs. We gotta have more imagination, guys.
Imagination.
Imagination.
Well, there's Ryan.
No, I've been here. I've just been multitasking.
No, we were looking for Brian.
Oh.
Now, Brian.
Yeah, Brian might be at work.
Yeah.
Never mind. Carry on.
Oh, that's not what you meant? Well, it's still a good idea that I'm crediting you for so, Maniac, all right? I am crediting you for that idea.
Anyway, someone wants to know, what's your favorite SpongeBob episode?
Probably the one where Squidward tries the Krabby Patty the first time, honestly. That's the first one I always think of. Like, I know in the show, in episode 50, I said that it was one of my favorites, but honestly, I think it is my favorite thinking about it. It's just such a great episode. Would SpongeBob's shoes squeak? Yeah, but they'd probably be like toned down so that way they're not too intrusive or too loud. What would happen if Villager or Isabel pocketed the patty? They'd just pocket the patty and then they can throw it back in SpongeBob. It'd be no different than pocketing any other projectile. I'm disappointed that his Final Smash doesn't use Invincible. The superhero form, I opted not to. I thought about it, because, yeah, we talked about this a little bit in the last stream. SpongeBob's Final Smash took me forever to figure out properly. I could not think of anything after a while, because, like, I thought of the Goofy Goober, but the 2 games, like, it's not even really in, like, the console version of the movie video game. It's literally just SpongeBob puts on the visor and then uses a guitar to attack King Neptune, but the guitar is literally just a reskin of the Bubble Cruise from Battle for Bikini Bottom, because the movie video game is just an enhanced reskin of Battle for Bikini Bottom, and not even as good of one, honestly. Like, it makes Patrick a little better, but...
it's like we thought... Yeah, there was that one. I know, again, I mentioned this in the last stream, but I'll mention it here too. Like, I even suggested doing, like, like SpongeBob, he does an attack, and if it hits somebody, it, like, the screen, like, quickly changes and over, and you hear the narrator say, like, 1 Final Smash later, and that person that got hit, they just die.
And that's funny. It really is. It references it references one of the most memed things about SpongeBob. But I feel
is that narrator.
Yeah, but something I really wanted to go for with the SpongeBob Final Smash was to emphasize what the tone of SpongeBob's show, which is blown expectations through slapstick. And that's kind of what I was trying to go for, because, like, I was able to use the Smash thanks to that one boating video game, but, like, it has SpongeBob, driving off with the boat, panicking because Mrs. Puff tries to teach him. It looks like he's about to hit the foes, and that looks like it's going to be the attack, only for him to barely swerve past them, crash into the lighthouse, and that's what falls on the foe. That is classic SpongeBob humor, playing with your expectations. But yeah, aside from that, like, going back to the Goofy Goober, the Game Boy Advanced version of Goofy Goober did have the wizard, like the wizard Goofy Goober thing, but it literally only showed up for 3 seconds just to shoot a laser, just to have a beam struggle with with the possessed King Neptune, and that was it. And honestly, I didn't want to use that because that was really lame. That was really lame. Like, just giving SpongeBob a beam super, nah. That was lame. And as for Invincibubble, from what I've seen of Hero Pants, that form doesn't do much, and from what I can tell, that movie wasn't even that much liked. So, while the Invincibubble thing is recent, it's not really SpongeBob, so... Would Kirby have all the bubble attacks? Yes, Kirby would. If Kirby sucks up SpongeBob, Kirby would be able to do every single one of all 7 of his bubble attacks. Which honestly would make Kirby much scarier than he kind of already is. Alright, so anything else on SpongeBob?
A funny thing would be that when he's caught specifically by the villagers' Final Smash, his pineapple house will be built instead of the regular villager house. They're actually building SpongeBob's house.
That'd be funny.
And then blowing it up.
That'd be funny, but once again, that goes back to the idea that character movesets shouldn't be, like, aesthetically or tinkered affected by other characters. As funny as that would be, that's a no.
Could his shield be a literal bubble?
It could. That's not a bad idea, actually. It could be one. Like, he just puts himself...
That was a Death Speaker who suggested that. It's like, yeah, SpongeBob blows a bubble and that's his shield.
Death Speaker? No, you know what? I like that idea. Let's do that. Death Speaker? Was it one word or two?
Yeah. 2.
Okay. Well, that's awkward. Shield a bubble. Okay. Anything else on SpongeBob? No, SpongeBob can't have Patrick as an Echo Fighter. I went over that earlier. Patrick is just too radically different. He cannot be an Echo. Patrick would have to be his own fighter. Does SpongeBob float water in longer? No, he would float in water for the same amount of time as everybody else. Why is SpongeBob's intro not him coming out of the pineapple? Because Hans the Hand is so much funnier. Come on. That's comedy gold right there, guys. Like, literally just, it's like, not even subtle. Like, this photorealistic hand just comes out holding SpongeBob, just drops him off, and that's it. While SpongeBob's saying, I'm ready. Like, come on. That's comedy genius right there, people. Like, the first idea I had for the intro was actually for him to get dropped off in a from a bus, like the same buses that we see in Bikini Bottom, like, which is how you switch between characters in Battle for Bikini Bottom. But then I thought of the hand, and that was just way better. You never knew. Yeah, his name is Hans.
When SpongeBob is KO'd, you hear dolphin noises.
What is he doing? He's swearing? He's cussing
Yeah.
as he dies? That's mean.
Yes.
Like dolphin cries, like air horns. Like,
No, that would be Mr.
No.
That would be Mr. Krabs.
Yeah.
Remember, SpongeBob only cusses because he didn't know any better. Mr. Krabs is the one that began cussing because he actually stubbed his toe.
Right. That's all 13.
Like, you said number 11.
Oh no, SpongeBob would have really dramatic screams whenever he gets KO'd.
Like,
Yeah, he would go above and beyond.
Yeah. Oh no, Tom Kenny kills it. Tom Kenny has been SpongeBob for so long. He's killed it. Like, at this point, Tom Kenny pretty much is just SpongeBob.
yeah, really.
Like, he's played so many other roles that are really iconic, but he is forever just SpongeBob. Like,
Yes.
how about shield damage SpongeBob takes? His bubble gets dirty, like the colors of the dirty bubble. Ooh, that's not a bad idea, actually. Because it does need some kind of signifier as to what it would be. That's a great idea, Malik. I like that. Hold on. Add to that. And to add to that from Malik Perry as the shield, as the bubble shield takes damage, it grows progressively dirtier. That's a great idea. Cool. That was a nice little add-on to Death Speaker's idea. Yeah, I know, to ass, sorry. Anyway. So anything else on SpongeBob? No, SpongeBob's a good sport. I wouldn't see SpongeBob crying after losing. SpongeBob is a pretty good sport. Like, he'd be clapping. Like, it'd be someone like Mr. Krabs, Plankton, or Squidward who'd be a lot saltier about losing, but not SpongeBob. SpongeBob's pretty good about it. Alright, so I guess we good on SpongeBob then?
I think so, yeah.
Alrighty. Yep, so why don't we do this? So we'll kind of mix things up now. So what we'll do is if anyone had anything they wanted to talk about previous characters that they may have missed, or we can or if you want to, we can talk while doing so. We can also talk about the mini direct, because I did want to talk about that a little bit, because I know you guys wanted to. So the big thing, of course, is that they reveal that the next DLC character coming out for Fighter Pass 6, so the first one for Season 2, is going to be an ARMS character. But we don't know which one. They only said it's going to be an ARMS character, but they didn't say who. And this is going to be interesting. Because currently, the main character, or who's seen as the main character of ARMS, Springman, is an assist trophy in Smash. So this is leading to a lot of different speculation. This is what I personally think about the matter. Again, it's not playing automatically like it should. Gosh, dang it. Play automatic. Why do you do this to me? Whatever. Anyway, you guys can just see our SpongeBob then. Or not, because my OBS is just mean. I need to uninstall and get a new version of OBS after this. Anyway, here's what I'm thinking. The obvious idea is that it is probably going to be Springman. So if it is Springman, that would obviously completely shatter the fan-made idea that assist trophies and even spirits cannot be fighters. That would shatter that idea completely. And then everyone, and if that's the case, Waluigi for Smash will be a trending hashtag for the next 2 years.
Yeah, more or less. Then everybody is gonna be like, "Oh my God, Waluigi has a chance! Bring him in Smash!"
So if it does end up being Springman, I can see one of two things happening based on some ideas that have been brought to my attention during after it was revealed today. Either the Springman assist trophy could just be removed. It could be a deal where it doesn't appear if Springman's actually fighting, or the Springman assist trophy could be replaced with the robot Springman, Springtron I think is what it was called, if Springman is the one fighting. If Springman's fighting, Springtron would appear instead. Like, I know people talk about the idea of the Springtron being like an Echo Fighter or a costume, but that could also be an idea that it could replace the it could very well just replace the Springman costume entirely.
Something actually just occurred to me on that front.
Yeah.
I remember a long time ago, during the whole ARMS scene, where there was a popularity contest going on in regards to who's your favorite ARMS character and everything like that. I think the most popular character from that list was Min Min.
Oh yeah, like I've seen that a lot. I've seen that a lot too. That people are hoping that it's Min Min. But here's still the interesting thing: Min Min, correct me if I'm wrong, is a spirit in Ultimate. Actually, let me do this real quick, because I haven't looked yet. Let's see what.
Yeah, there's like
what characters currently in Smash are spirits. Super.
I think there's 5 of them.
Bros, Ultimate, ARMS, spirits. Let me look that up real quick. Let's see.
Okay. Well, that being said, would it be possible for them to do kind of like with Bowser Jr., where you have, like, you know, with some exceptions aside, like Twintel, because I know her arms are more so her hair.
Yes, and
would it be possible to fit characters and like those are just the alts? It's just other ARMS characters.
That was an idea that I brought up to Twitter as well, but I wasn't sure because I'm not familiar with ARMS. I'm not familiar with ARMS by any means. I know very little about it. So I even asked Twitter, do you guys think that Springman can be the default, but then he can have alts that can be the other Spring Fighters? And some people said some could, others, like the main ones that I kept seeing people say could be Ribbon Girl, Min Min, and Ninjara. Those are like the main ones. What's interesting, okay, I got the list pulled up here. So the 5 ARMS spirits that are in Ultimate are Springman, Ribbon Girl, Min Min, Twintel, and Ninjara. So, would you guys say that those are the 5 most iconic ARMS characters? They have different fists? Well, I guess that begs the question now, like... Because this really makes me wonder. Because the Direct straight up said, you know, we're working hard to make this really intricate character work. They said this one's a hard one. Like, that this one is probably making them rack their brains. So they're probably going to do something really gimmicky with this. So expect this character to end up probably being really gimmicky. Here are some base ideas that I have based on what little knowledge about ARMS that I know. I'm guessing that regardless, because I know certain ARMS characters can have certain fists, right? Like, not every ARMS character can have every fists. That's correct?
Yes, they can. Yes, they can.
Oh, they can?
They can.
Oh, so any
Dude.
ARMS character can use any fist.
They can.
Oh, so then that's not even a problem then. So then literally what they can do is like here's
But
what
how it works is like every character has their own tailored default fist that they use for that character specifically. But that doesn't stop every character in ARMS from using every single arm available.
Okay.
That was one of the quirks to ARMS is that you could have your favorite character using a multitude combination of arms in the game because everybody can use them all.
Yeah, but I know, but then every character had their own character specific gimmick, correct?
Yes,
Like-
they had separate abilities that they could use.
Yeah. So remind me, I guess, of the 5 that I mentioned: Springman, Ribbon Girl, Min, Twintel, Ninjara. What can each of them do specifically?
Ninjara, I think, has a. Ninjara can vanish.
Teleport. Okay.
Yeah. Who were the other ones you mentioned?
Twintel.
Twintel. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
She's got an aerial float.
Oh, she can float. Okay.
Well, not only can she float, but she's also got this thing where if you hold the button and any of the arms are like heading towards you, you can slow their assault.
Okay. What about Min?
Min can actually kick arms away.
Okay, so she can kick. Ribbon Girl.
Ribbon Girl has a triple jump, I think.
Interesting. Okay. And then what is Springman's gimmick?
Springman has a charge, whereas like I think if you I'm trying to remember actually. Oh no. Springman, I believe, not only has a charge to his arms, but also if you let go of the charge button while you're charging, he'll emit like a small barrier that can just like push arms away from hitting him.
Okay. So here's what I'm thinking they could do. I'm thinking, what if they had like an amalgamation character where like you can play where the various ARMS characters are all costumes to the same slot, and the moveset comprises of all those different abilities.
Oh yeah, that too. Springman also has a what do you call it, where you're like low on HP and you just get stronger from it. I guess something similar to Lucario.
Okay. So that's one idea that I can think of, because if any character in the game can use any fist, that I can very easily see like a switch fist. Well, actually no. Can you switch fists during fights?
Yes and no. You can equip up to 3 arms at the same time, and what happens is after every round you have the option to switch combinations before the next round.
Okay. Yeah, again, I'm not the one to be doing this. I don't know. I know very little about ARMS. Like,
Right.
Springman has a decent amount of requests, but not that many. Like, not as many as the ones that I have been covering. So it's like I've not looked into ARMS that much, so I'm not the one here to be thinking of moveset ideas for these
No,
characters.
I do. Like, no, you can switch arms during fights. It's just between rounds.
Yeah.
Not during the actual fight, just between rounds.
Okay. But so then so like there's that idea, because it would seem really weird, despite the fact that Springman is an assist trophy, it would just seem really out of place for them to make not the main character the fighter. But there is one exception that I can think of that I've seen a couple of other people bring up on Twitter as well, and I think this could be the other option. Some people are thinking that around the time when this character drops, before then, they could be announcing ARMS 2. And that ARMS 2 could have a whole new, brand new main character, and that character will be the main character.
That's what everyone's going on about.
I'm super wondering that, though, because unless they're just teasing in general, when they specifically showed that that we're getting an ARMS character, but which one, and then showed the entire ARMS 1 roster. Which, them doing that is what makes me feel like this is going to be a character with a different ARMS character per slot for costumes. That's why I think that. But it's so hard to say. Like, unless if they do make an ARMS 2, and the main character happens to be some kind of avatar character that can have any of these abilities. and literally becomes an amalgamation of all the ARMS characters. Like, that's like one of the few things that I can think of that would make that make sense.
That kind of exists already, and I say kind of.
With who?
Headlock.
Headlock?
Yeah, who is technically the final boss of ARMS.
Again, this one's just we'll have to wait and see for this one, because it's like I said, like obviously they said at the beginning of the direct that you know, dates are subject to change because of what's currently going on with everything. But despite that, I can tell based on where everything's placed, their initial plans were that they were going to release this character. More than likely, yeah, they straight up said this ARMS character is going to be released in June, which is where E3 was supposed to happen, which is when E3 is supposed to happen, or was supposed to happen before it got canceled.
Yeah.
So more than likely, they were going to plan to shadow drop the ARMS character during E3, while at the same time teasing the next character, more than likely.
Oh yeah. So basically, like just like how they handled the reveal of both the hero and Banjo and Kazooie.
Well, kinda.
From last year's E3.
Kinda, because they were both revealed at the same time, but neither were released on that day.
Right.
But it's been confirmed through the mini direct that this ARMS character will in fact be released in June. Like, unless delays happen, which they could, but that's what they said. So the earliest we can expect it is June. Latest probably sometime later, assuming there's delays.
I really don't want it to be Max Brass. I really don't.
It would seem weird for it not to be Springman. Like, he's the main character, right? Am I wrong?
It's hard to say who the main character of ARMS is. I think people just go about assuming Springman is the main character just because both him and Ribbon Girl were the first characters to be shown during the reveal trailer of ARMS.
I mean, he was the one chosen to be the assist trophy, so...
yeah.
And that decision to make him an assist trophy was more than likely made, obviously, well before they ever thought of making him a DLC fighter. I remember, they straight up said that the reason he's an assist trophy is because they didn't have time to make him a fighter. They said that. Not him specifically, but they didn't have time to make an ARMS character a fighter, so they made him an assist trophy instead, because that takes less time.
Well, that's what I'm getting at, though. Like, yeah, I mean,
but the fact that they chose Springman for that spot is still very telling. Plus, yeah, there's Springman and Ribbon Girl outfits.
Yeah, like I said, because they were both shown as part of the reveal trailer for ARMS, but put it into perspective, it's kind of hard to say who the actual main face of ARMS is, just because of how the game was structured and how it works.
Yeah. It just makes the most sense to me that it would be Springman, but who knows? Sakurai has faked us out before, so we'll see on this one.
I mean, I still think it could be Springtron, if not Minman.
Again, like, I feel like it'd feel weird to have Springman be an assist trophy and Springtron be the main fighter. It'd make more sense for them to just move Springman from the assist trophy spot and then make Springtron the assist trophy. Because again, this is a video game. Everyone needs to remember that video games can be altered. They can be edited. Like, nothing is stopping them from being able to, like, retexture. Because I've seen what Springtron looks like. He's literally just a reskinned Springman. Nothing's stopping them from reskinning the Springman outfit, this trophy, into a Springtron. So, but again, I could be very wrong. It could very well be an ARMS 2 character if that's actually happening. It could be some other random ARMS character like Midman, Ribbon Girl, Twin Tail, Ninjara. Who knows? I don't know. We don't know.
We probably are.
The fact that they're being so vague about this, because I think this is the first time in Smash history that they've revealed that the next character is from this series, but we're not telling you who it is. This is the first time this has ever happened. which tells me that they're planning something big for this character. Like, they're gonna pull some kind of thing that's gonna completely knock off everyone's expectations.
Yeah, it's like, I'm just glad, like, regardless of how they approach this, I'm just glad at the very least they're gonna be putting like some like actual like arms recognition like in the main roster, because that was actually like one of the many series that I was thinking, okay, right off the bat, they were gonna throw in one character as a main fighter in the roster. That is until they're like, oh no, we can't do that because it's an assist trophy.
All I know is because they announced an ARM character is going to be next, this got a lot of people's hopes up for the idea of Rex and Pyra getting in, because I think in like the same paragraph when Sakurai said that the reason that ARMS couldn't get in was because because it came out too late, there wasn't enough development time for it.
Yeah, Rex and Pyra was the same case.
The same thing, yeah, the same thing for Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Like, more than likely, Rex probably would have been a playable character, but Xenoblade 2 came out too late, so who knows? Like, and not to mention, with Xenoblade Chronicles Deluxe on the horizon. I know Rex isn't in that game, but he's still a Xenoblade character.
Okay, but Shulk is in Xenoblade 2, so it works out.
Yeah, he is. No. Unless they just pull a fast one and put Ricky in. That'd be funny.
I wouldn't even be mad.
I mean, it's like Springman gets upgraded from Assist Trophy to Fighter. Ricky gets upgraded from Assist Trophy to Fighter.
Oh wait, no, that would be opening the box even more. Let's not. Never mind.
At that point, everyone will just start assuming that the entire Fighters Pass 2 are just Assist Trophy upgrades at that point.
It's like, oh thank God, Shadow the Hedgehog is finally a fighter.
Waluigi has a chance. Shadow has a chance. Shovel Knight have a chance.
Shovel Knight!
Bubbleman has a chance. Rathalos has a chance.
We opened the box. Moving on.
I think that is pretty much all there is to say about this ARMS character. We won't know more till June. Aside from that, the director's okay. Like wasn't really a reaction record worthy. Obviously, like because like I ended up watching it first, like because literally I woke up this morning to my sister waking me up telling me that hey they just dropped the mini directs. Like what? So I watched it immediately, and it's like after watching it I got onto Discord. Ryan and Danny were getting ready to set it up so they could record, but I told them there's no reason to record. And like there's good stuff, but nothing worth nothing bombshelly, pretty much.
Yeah.
Right.
So like Xenoblade Chronicles coming out's cool. We got a little more information on Pokemon's like the DLC. Like we know how Cupful evolves into Urshifu. It is literally like you got to go through either a dark tower or a water tower. And depending on which tower you go through, it evolves it into the various forms of Urshifu. We got a little more information on the Gigantamax forms of the Galarian starters, and it seems like all three of their attacks just ignore abilities, which kind of lame, honestly. So what? Now Rillaboom can hit Sap Sippers. Like Inteleon can hit Water Absorber or Storm Drainers. Cinderace can hit Flash Firers. Like. Okay, that's really situational though. That kind of sucks. So not that great.
I was more surprised at the fact that we're getting the definitive edition of Xenoblade in just 2 months.
Yeah,
like that was kind of crazy. Too bad I won't be able to play it.
I was like, I'm surprised. I'm honestly surprised Panzer Dragoon Remake dropped.
Yeah, it came
same
out today,
here.
And you're salty because you can't afford it right now.
I know.
Wait, no. I'm salty because my Switch is broken.
You just bought her Animal Crossing, Brandon. Put the wallet away.
No, I'm saying I can't play it because my Switch is broken.
Oh crap! That's right. It is. Well, in any which case, it's like aside from that, we got more information on Bravely Default 2, which really all it did was just help build the world a little bit. Because aside from that, it talked about mechanics that were pretty much in the previous games. I'm looking forward to that. I loved Bravely Default. I love Bravely Second, and I'm looking forward to that very much so. And they talked about a few other things that I didn't much care for, honestly. Like, I could have cared less, unless I'm just forgetting one. So. Okay, well, I guess that does it then. I guess we good?
Think so.
Alrighty. Yep, so...
Oh.
So yeah, I'll go ahead and call it a stream there. My voice is sore. I'm talking a lot today. I was actually right before the stream. I was actually recording the audio for a future what if they were willing to make my voice hoarse to do so. In which case, that pretty much will do it. So I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. Hope you guys got some clarification. I'm glad to hear you guys' input on everything. And as such, because I'm taking time off from work at my part-time job because of what's been going on. Obviously I'm not going in this weekend, so that gives me more time to be able to work on the moveset. So I think the next I think I'm gonna try shooting for the next live stream that I do on Monday, if so long as OBS works. Again, like after this, I'm gonna uninstall OBS from my laptop, get the newest version of it, see if that fixes it or whatever. But I'll try shooting for another. Since I'm off work, I'll try doing more live streams for you guys. I'll try doing at least. I can't promise it right now because I don't know. Because once I get things picked back up with the videos, I may get too busy again. But I'll try to see if I can make live streams a weekly thing, like for the time being. Now, at least until I go back to work with delivering pizzas. But yeah. So I'll try shooting for Monday. But until then, yeah. So the next What If They Were in Smash series, episode 51, will be airing not Friday but Wednesday, April 1st. So I will see you all then. Have a great night and take care.